Welcome to Countdown to Infinity, a Marvel's Avengers podcast. We're talking all things the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And this week is really special because as we prepare for the release of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 on May the 5th, we are revisiting our thoughts on the other two Guardians movies. So these are re-releases with John, Andrew, and myself, and a guest. So there might be another voice, and it's a guest. And we're going to be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. And then later on, we'll be releasing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That's before the release of the kind of the last movie for James Gunn in the MCU before he leaves to DC and makes his Superman movie. But that comes out May the 5th. So we'll be talking about that movie. And so this is kind of a big lead up to that. But before then, just a couple pieces of news that we know is happening and some of you are thinking about when it comes to the MCU. But rest assured, we're just kind of waiting to see how it shakes out before we talk about it on the pod. I guess the biggest change is the fact that Jonathan Majors has allegedly had some domestic violence abuse allegations and an investigation that seems to be growing. And that is leading Disney to reassess their, I guess, relationship with him. So there's a possibility now that Jonathan Majors will not be a part of Kang in any iteration in all of these other movies, which will be something that to keep an eye on. They can recast him. I think if he did what he's alleged to have done, he definitely should be recast. I think it's kind of an easy one. It's not even the first time that the MCU has done it, and this character is known to have multiple iterations. I am interested to see what they do with Loki, because I believe he's already filmed that show as his character, and that's a little different. You can't really recast someone in something that's already been filmed, but we will see. But moving forward, I think it makes sense. If they need to do it, they'll do it. The other piece of news is just kind of some rumors about Mr. Fantastic and the fact that Adam Driver, one of the greatest actors alive, or at least one of the more prolific ones, and he's a great actor actually, and he's already been in some franchises like Star Wars, but it seems to be a rumor that he is going to be part of the Fantastic Four movie. And we're excited if that happens, but we're waiting and seeing. They're kind of floating it out now, and there's some rumors building up, and he would be a really interesting choice. A lot of people had other people that they thought would be Mr. Fantastic, but Reed Richards, but it could be Adam Driver. So we'll keep an eye out for that. But apart from that, we're revisiting Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. So this episode is us discussing that movie. There's a fun game. It kind of gets out of hand, because this was before Infinity War and Endgame, so keep that in mind. But we thought it'd be fun to talk about again, or for y'all to hear again. So without further ado, here's our Guardians of the Galaxy episode. Thanks so much for listening. Welcome to this week's episode of Countdown to Infinity, an Avengers podcast. I know you guys don't like to count down. So,
yeah, don't make us do it again. Stop it.
I'll just do it by myself.
I have no idea. Yeah. Just don't count down, Dave.
All right, here we go. 3.
You said you were going to do it by yourself.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was waiting for you guys.
2, 1.
I thought I was going to go in by myself, and you guys were going to be like, you know what? We can't let him do this by himself.
We started a different number each podcast, and it's kind of like...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
We started at 8 last time around.
Okay.
Well, we don't start at 8. I mean, we're trying
Which movie?
There's only 4 of us. It would make sense to...
This is the 10th, I think.
Okay. All right.
Guardians.
I'll start at 10.
Well, no.
No. Yeah, don't do this.
But this is the 10th movie in the MCU. So.
Okay, here we go. That sounds good. 10, 9, 8, 7.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ah!
Boom. We did it.
Yeah, hey, cool, man. No problem. No problem at all.
Who are you?
Star-Lord.
Who?
Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw. Forget it.
We arrested these 5 on Xandar. Check out the rap sheets. Drax, a.k.a. the Destroyer. Since his wife and family were killed, he's been on a rampage across the galaxy in his search for vengeance. Gamora, soldier, assassin, wanted on over a dozen counts of murder. Rocket, wanted on over 50 charges of vehicular theft and escape from lockup.
What the hell?
Groot has been traveling recently as Rocket's personal houseplant / muscle. Peter Jason Quill. He's also known as Star-Lord.
Who calls him that?
Himself, mostly. He's wanted largely on charges of minor assault, public intoxication, and fraud.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
Well, guys, it's number 10 according
10,
to John. John, are you?
9.
You're doing the
We're not
countdown
doing that
now?
anymore?
If
Okay.
you like it.
It's all right.
I love
No,
the
we're done.
countdown.
Don't bring this up the next time. You will. It always happens.
If you've made it past the first minute of the podcast, this is Countdown to Infinity. If this is your first episode just because you like Guardians of the Galaxy, you're doing it wrong, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. It's fine. We accept everyone. So here's what we're doing. We're watching a Marvel movie every single week. We started with Iron Man. Man, back in 2017. You guys remember that year? Crazy, right?
Yeah.
So it's already so far. And we're going to go all the way to the Infinity War movie that comes out in May. And yeah, so every single week, a new Marvel movie. And I've watched so many of these now. My name is Emmanuel.
And I'm John.
This is Andrew.
And we've got a super special guest.
Super.
He lives proximity-wise very close to me.
About a mile away.
If you're planning on robbing me,
Don't.
there's a house very close by that. You know,
You'll never find it.
2 birds, 1 stone, if you want.
Yeah. My name's David. I'm from Sticker Fridge Podcast.
Boom.
Another sister podcast company,
Yeah.
I'll say, because
A sister podcast company.
Sisters.
we're around, man.
Boom.
You've been on ours. John's on ours.
So
Andrew's been on ours.
what is your favorite Marvel cinematic universe movie, do you think?
Guardians of the Galaxy. That's why I chose this one 100%.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well,
That was the
nice.
reason I chose this one,
Oh, boy.
because I'm just not a. I've been recently talking to some friends, and I was really talking. I was saying, what the fuck happened in cinema recently, where Marvel and specifically Marvel and Star Wars have become their own genres, not even franchise, genre of film.
Yeah.
Like, it's a completely different genre of film. And it kind of annoys me in my
Yeah,
opinion,
a little
just
bit.
because of like how obvious it is. Like, you can watch any of these and be like, you can watch it for like 5 seconds and someone can be like, oh, this is a different movie. No, it's not, you fucking asshole. This is a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
There's no way that anyone can ever tell you it's not a Marvel movie.
They're like, is this an action movie? And you're like, no.
No, I can already
This is
tell.
a Marvel movie.
Oh, there's a bright line in that weird black spot. It's a Marvel movie. Oh, there's a star up there, and there's a war up near that star.
You better watch
That's a Star
everything
Wars
in the
movie.
background.
Yeah.
You better look out for a cameo for someone.
Yeah.
You
Did I
rewatch-
just see Samuel L. Jackson?
Did you you've rewatched this recently?
I watched it maybe like a couple of weeks ago. Actually.
Did you still find that you liked it as much as you did the first time?
Maybe not as much.
A little bit less now that because of what you've seen already in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
No, not that much. I will say it's because there was I at the time this was like the best Marvel film in my opinion, the like epitome of a Marvel film, and now it's really not. There's a lot. There's better Marvel films out, and I haven't seen Black Panther.
Oh, nice.
But I will say that like I've heard so many amazing things that
about it.
that I've heard as many amazing things that I heard about Black Panther before. The same thing as I heard before I saw this movie.
This movie, yeah.
Guardians.
Guardians 1. And so it's like that movie seems to be probably up there in the pantheon of like great Marvel movies.
Which one would you say has overtaken this one?
One of the ones that you've seen.
Right.
You said that
The
this
ones
one's
that
probably
I've
the best
seen,
one.
Right.
Well, I wouldn't say that one has like overtaken it in general, but I would say that like elements of other movies have overtaken it. You know, fucking what is it? The Avengers. What was the second Avengers movie? I'm really
Age of
bad at
Ultron?
names
Age of
and
Ultron?
stuff.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron. That that like basic Civil War moment that happens in Age of Ultron is one of the greatest Marvel moments, in my opinion, that's ever been captured or ever been like shown on film. Like the whole battle between the Marvel superheroes at the airport.
Civil War.
Civil War.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
See, I don't know the movie names.
Yeah.
So I'm so like they all blend in. So because they look
become
all the
one.
same,
But
Yeah.
it should have been the second Avengers movie, to be honest with you.
it's just because they look all the same to me
After a
that
while,
I
yeah.
cannot picture what's different, except for Thor movies, because they look completely different for some
Yeah.
fucking reason.
They do, yeah.
And I haven't seen Thor Ragnarok. I also will say that.
Nice.
Although I love
Taika
the director.
Waititi?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's amazing.
I just
mean,
watched what was that movie? he
What We
made
Do in the
New
Shadows?
Zealand?
What We Do in the Shadows.
No,
Hunt for
Chase
the Wilder
the
People.
For the
that
Wilder
movie.
People.
Haven't seen Hunt for the Wilder
Bonkers,
People.
insanely good.
Yeah.
I've seen What We Do in the Shadows, and I've seen what was it, that other movie that they did like way long, like Shark.
Oh, yeah.
Shark Girl
With the Flight of the
whatever.
Conchords people.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
one was amazing too. And Boy, which was another one he
seen
did.
Boy.
So good. I mean, and What We Do in the Shadows is
It's
a
great.
goddamn
It's-
masterpiece.
Yeah, it is a masterpiece.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I would say that like those elements that were presented in the later Marvel movies, like those types of things, definitely overshadowed this movie.
This movie, yeah.
But this movie as a whole is
Up there.
probably, in my opinion, one of the.
A1 number one.
I would say probably like number 2, number 1.
I gotta say, this movie's probably my number one. It's my main squeeze, baby. I remember watching this movie, not knowing much about the Guardians of the Galaxy, but then watching it 3 or 4 times in the theaters because I figured the second week it was out, I was like, there's nothing better. I just should watch this movie again. I think it was a real big risk on Marvel's part, but after, I mean, it was a really good film. What did you guys hear about it when it first started coming out? Did you guys read Guardians? I know you guys are comic book readers.
Yeah.
I was familiar with the Guardians of the Galaxy characters before coming on, but mainly I was way more. The thing that drew me into this movie was James Gunn. I was a huge fan of James Gunn. Throughout his entire career, from like his Troma Origins, which is really cool. Tromeo and Juliet is a really awesome movie. I love Slither. I love the Dawn of the Dead remake that he wrote for Snyder.
Scooby-Doo.
Super was a little bit of a.
Scooby-Doo too.
I don't know if it's
Scooby-Doo, yeah.
aged too well
I
nowadays.
will say,
but, like, Super
so-
is a really good movie.
The reason why I like Super so much, like Super, so at one point in my life I was like super into the idea.
Super
Right,
into
right.
Super.
Super.
So I was really into the idea of just analyzing films and like looking at like the structure of movies.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and you did you did a hero's
analyzed-
journey.
I did a
for
hero's
Super,
journey
yeah.
for Super, and Super has a perfect hero's journey.
Right, like the arc, a complete arc.
All of the arcs that Joseph Campbell says that
Yeah.
you're supposed to take, it has them all,
Nice.
like in perfect succession. So it is literally a perfect like Odyssey. Odyssey.
Yeah.
Like it is the perfect one of those types of films, and that blew my mind that James Gunn was able to capture that in such a weird, shitty film. Like I don't want to say it's a shitty film, but just like a weird film.
Yeah.
That like I
Weird,
mean,
shitty
the
film.
scene where he just like smacks a guy on the head with like a fucking was it like a wrench?
Yeah, you
like
can see the
weird shit.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
see the budget in that movie too, like where
For sure.
the big limits of like what he wanted to do, like because some of the Super's a really cool movie, and like I don't want to dwell too much on it, but like there's a sense where like you didn't have enough money to make it like cool or something, because like this premise is really awesome, and it's basically like an alternate to like Kick-Ass's story, but
Yeah,
like
they spent there's like the first like 30 minutes there's like a crazy CG scene.
yeah.
That's probably where they spent most of
the money, yeah. The
most of
brain
their money
one,
went to
yeah.
that.
Tentacle, yeah.
Most of their money went to his costume, and the rest was all just
Probably just to the actors too,
the
'cause, like,
actors
the cast
and
is
stuff.
like pretty
The
big.
Yeah. What do you got? You got Rainn
Bacon.
Wilson,
Yeah, Kevin Bacon,
Liv
Tyler,
Tyler,
Ellen Page.
Ellen Page, who
Is that
literally directly after this movie came out as gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After she tried to rape Rainn Wilson's character.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a crazy.
As a girl
crazy, yeah,
tried to rape a man.
Yeah. Boom.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
shit.
that's just a little bit of what James Gunn
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
And
because,
it's so
because
crazy.
of that, like those elements, the fact
James
that he
Gunn
actually
does that.
Yeah,
Right.
and the fact that he was attached to a Guardians of the fucking Galaxy movie, were just kind of like, wait,
Exactly,
what?
yeah,
This is like
and-
really weird. Like, and
I
then-
remember seeing the behind the scenes for the Guardians of the Galaxy and the behind the scenes for like what's it called? Like the Dark Knight. And you see I can't even I feel like an asshole. What's the name of the director for The Dark Knight? I can't remember.
Nolan, yeah.
So he is walking around set in a full 3-piece suit, just like,
Almost like Hitchcock
kind of
and shit.
like being super elegant, like touching people on the side and like directing them away. And James Gunn's walking around in a black t-shirt and jeans with a cup of coffee, just yelling at people, like while he's directing this movie. And it's a total, like, you can tell, like, that's why this movie's fun.
Yeah, and
honestly,
I think that was my first impression too. Was coming. I remember them saying, there's gonna be a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I was like, how are a walking tree,
It's that
two
team-
green
yeah, the
people,
team with a raccoon
two green
and
people and a
a
raccoon,
tree,
But and then I heard that it was James Gunn, and like John, I was such a big fan of what he's done, and I mean, even now, I still kind of dig the second Guardians because of. Obviously it's not as good as this one is, but I dig the second Guardians because James Gunn is attached and how he treats his characters and just the way he treats the movie making process in general. But
Let's talk about that. So James Gunn started in relative obscurity in a. I can speak loudly to cover it if you want. James Gunn started in the School of Trauma, which is the super B-level horror movies.
Yeah, we have an interview with Lloyd Kaufman.
Yeah.
With Lloyd Kaufman in one of our ROTS episodes.
Yeah, that was
Good middle plug, Andrew.
really quick before you go into James Gunn and Trauma, I just want to say my was a history with Trauma. All started with John.
Yeah,
John taught me all about Trauma. Like John so we took an editing course together in college, and John was the guy who was just like, you got to look at these
John
like
loves
crazy.
Trauma.
Yeah, I mean, he's my Trauma guy. Like whenever I talk about Trauma, John's always in my head.
That's so funny that
It's
you're known
Droma
for that.
now.
That's hilarious because I obviously have known John for a
the
long
same
time.
thing too. Like Han's
Oh,
like,
yeah?
yeah. But I've never
Obviously.
really like actually pinpointed him to be a big Trauma fan. But I mean, because I know of Trauma as well, and it's mainly because it's just what James Gunn says, and that's one of the. We were watching it with the commentary, and midway he sees Lloyd Kaufman, and he starts going on and on about Trauma and
He
what
has
drew him.
a really sweet like little plug, towards,
Plug,
Trauma
and
stuff.
it's basically because
It's-
the process is the same of shitty budget or not or shitty whatever. He still respected that they went through the actual process of the of making a movie.
Well, also it just blows my mind with Trauma in general. Like, so I know a lot of people. Like, I work with some people that are like movie buffs in general, and I in Sticker Fridge. There's some movie buffs there. It's Adam and Brent. They're pretty big movie buffs. They've never really heard of Trauma.
Yeah.
They've never really experienced the idea of what Trauma is. And that blows my mind.
Yeah.
Just as a connoisseur of film, or as like someone that wants to be a filmmaker, it's like Trauma is that perfect middle ground for those things. It's like
Well-
because it's such a cult thing, and it brings you into that whole like
For sure.
how you make film.
Well, and they do that making of Poultrygeist, and that was
Poultrygeist.
one of the best.
in
Like,
motion,
yeah, exactly.
So that if no one's ever seen the making of Poultrygeist, it's literally better than the movie Poultrygeist.
Oh, yeah.
It is
Like one of the best documentaries on film.
Yeah,
in general.
it's
Oh, yeah.
it's basically the documentary. What is
Guerrilla
it?
filmmaking.
The burden of the was the burden of film, whatever that fucking like Werner Herzog film. That was a documentary of him making Fitzcarraldo. It's basically that.
Yeah.
but your indie version of it, and it just brings you down to that, and it's like, oh, I could make a fucking movie.
Yeah,
I
and-
could make a
well,
fucking
and
movie if I wanted to.
It gave me the same feelings of when I saw like Clerks or like the Night of the Living Dead. Where like, oh my god, these guys did it by themselves, So when I hear about Trauma, I'm like, oh man, it's where people start.
Yeah.
And then you go obviously with James Gunn, and how many names are attached to Trauma in general? J.J. Abrams and
A lot.
Yeah,
Samuel
ton.
Jackson,
Yeah.
Marissa Tomei.
South Park dudes.
So many,
Yeah.
so many people because the idea of Trauma was just like, let's just give people jobs. Let's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
let's just have fun. Let's
And make a
it work.
movie.
And that's
I
where
think
James Gunn started,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I think it really plays well, or not plays well, but it really reflects on the movie
It really
that was
does.
the Guardians of the
Oh, yeah.
Galaxy. It seems like it's a whole lot of fun. But yeah, let's talk about this movie. Enough about James Gunn and Trauma. Let's talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy. What did you guys think about the movie? And go. 2 minutes on the clock.
The actual our actual favorite.
Yeah, what were your first impressions, or what did you guys think of the movie? I mean, I know it was a blend of a lot of things that grounded us to pop culture, like the soundtrack.
I think I guess we'll touch on that real quick. A lot of movies, obviously, a lot of movies have like soundtracks and stuff attached to them. You have I mean, every
A whole
every
lot more
movie.
after this movie.
There's a lot of silent films that did
again,
not.
let's not talk about Volume 2's shitty soundtrack. And let's just talk about Volume 1's really good soundtrack.
James Gunn really loves the second soundtrack. James Gunn
I
really
don't
loves
mind
it.
the second soundtrack. I hate how they like reference it in the movie.
Yeah.
Go
nice.
fuck yourselves. The first movie was way better with like
Are you
But the
talking
way
about
the music
oh,
cues
yeah.
in the movie, right? Like you're
Yes,
talking about like that.
exactly.
Everyone's turning it on.
I could not stand
There's
that
a
in the
player
second one.
everywhere in this.
In the second
second
one, I could not stand that. In the first one, they did it so much better.
Nice.
I think it's pretty cool though, like that you had this type of approach to it though, because like
it's the first superhero movie to do it. Right?
Yeah, I mean it's not even really a superhero movie, even as a sense too. It's kind of like you have all these characters
the
who haven't
typical
been.
band of misfits.
We're talking about like the whole MCU up to this point. Like everybody's been kind of black and white hero-ish, like in
Right.
all the movies. You have like basically a group of outlaws in this one, and then you have it kind of grounded on Earth with all these like pop songs from the '70s. That again, like David said, like kind of it's better used in this movie than it is in the second one,
Right.
because in the second one they do seem to be finding like a CD player at each like.
Man, you might not like the
turn.
third one.
I know,
But,
right? There's a Zune. There's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
But this kind of movie started all that like pop songs in the background. We've seen other movies since that kind of like throw up like a pop soundtrack, and it kind of fails badly for them. But this movie's great, and like it's really funny, especially Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt gave out like I mean, we've all known that he was you already had like a good performance in him from watching like Parks and Rec and stuff, but you didn't really know that he was going to nail it.
Right,
the way
yeah,
did in
he
this
went from
movie.
C-lister to A-lister with this movie.
Like,
Immediately.
quick.
Yeah.
And it was that whole also I think the body transformation thing. that
God,
went
let's
on the,
talk about
media
his hot bod.
social media became like abound with like, oh my god, Chris Pratt's so fucking hot now.
H-A-W-T.
Well, there was a lot of. You're right about Chris Pratt and even Zoe Saldana, Bautista.
Batista's really
The most
I mean,
famous
too,
person
that's, like-
was the animated dude, Bradley Cooper.
Bradley, oh,
when
and
this
you got
movie
Vin
came
Diesel
out.
also. Vin
And,
Diesel.
yeah,
But
this-
isn't that crazy that like that's not even Bradley Cooper's real performance in my
Yeah,
opinion?
Sean-
That's more
Sean
Sean
Gunn.
Gunn's
Sean Gunn.
performance mixed with Bradley Cooper's like inflections. Like that is one of the first like real amalgams of a character where it's like more than one person, because before that it was all like with Andy Serkis being the complete
Gollum,
person.
yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, like Gollum or whatever it
Caesar.
was from Caesar. I've never watched any of those movies.
Planet
Those are-
actually.
those are
The
good.
Planet of the Apes movies. I've never seen a
those are
single
good.
one.
It's actually pretty good. Yeah.
I for some reason that franchise has just never stuck in my
Clicked with
mind.
you.
You should just watch
Yeah.
the second one, and I think you'd be good.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
I want to hear your opinion now, Andrew, on.
So I remember being super excited because I remember we saw the leaked trailer of Comic-Con. We couldn't even wait for the real trailer to be released, and I remember making out bits and pieces, and I was so
Right, I
excited.
remember that, yeah.
I was so excited that it clicked on screen, and obviously we had a Hooked on a Feeling go on for forever, and
A whole year,
yeah,
that song.
Now, that song is like super popular
song,
now.
yeah.
But
It was every tween's ringtone.
Now, but
yeah, sure. And so when I saw it, I was just blown away that this is what a Marvel movie could be.
Yeah.
This makes Thor Ragnarok possible. This makes I know Thor was kind of
No,
different.
but you're right about
Right.
that.
Yeah, Thor is kind of different for sure, but I mean, you still recognize who Thor was, and in this one, they're introducing like at least 10 characters that you have to give a shit about by the end of the movie.
It felt like sorry to cut you
No, you're
off,
good.
but it felt like for a little bit they were like trying to give some auteurs like some like license to do some stuff, you know. But Gunn was the first person to really be like, I'm going to take it. I'm actually going to do what I want to do with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And like make the movie I want to make, because like, I mean, I unabashedly hate the first Thor movie. The first Thor movie is garbage in my
Kenneth-
opinion, just
Kenneth
because
Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh like over directed the shit out of that movie. He tried to make it like some weird like Shakespearean thing, and then tried to make it some weird like sci-fi thing, and then tried to make it some weird like, and then all tie it into the Marvel thing. And it's
Yeah.
like none of that worked together. Too many Dutch angles. Get those Dutch angles out of my life.
I needed more Dutch angles. I was leaning on the side of a chair next to me, and it was straight for most of it.
Yeah, and it's such a shame too, because like you look at like a movie like Thor: The Dark World, where Alan Taylor, the dude who Game of Thrones and all that good stuff, it should have been destined for greatness with Viking Thor. Cool, it's
Yeah,
supposed
and
to work.
like a movie like
and
Ant-Man,
then,
too.
yeah, exactly, Ant-Man, and where the studio has their fingers in there a little bit too much, and then here comes James Gunn and they're like, this dude's weird. He can totally take this weird concept.
Well,
and, you know,
one of the advantages I think he has is Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, all of them
Main
were in the Avengers, and they have to play into the main through line.
Exactly.
So I could see how Marvel gave more notes, kind of messed with
sure,
the other
yeah.
versions.
Yeah.
Where in Guardians, they're like, well, we don't even know if they'll be in it.
They're just throwing it at the wall and
So
hoping
do
that it'll
whatever-
stick.
They
Do whatever you want.
obviously beyond any like they. Ant-Man's not a terrible movie,
Right.
but we can all imagine how amazing it would have been
with
if
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright had
Right.
continued to
Exactly.
direct that film. Like it would have been incredible.
Yeah,
Oh,
see,
totally,
and,
yeah.
But I guess it's like Emmanuel said, where like the more known characters, the stricter I guess Marvel
like,
is
the IP
about the
like,
property
more
or whatever.
well-known, Yeah.
So what I'll say about it is the thing, like what you said, John, about how like it's a cast of characters and things like that like build, like they actually build. You know, like it's like one person at the beginning, and then like another person joins, and that to me lends itself to, I'll say Miyazaki, the Japanese animated director, because that's what he does. He creates one person you follow, and then there's someone that you might have some kind of like kindness towards, and that person kind of joins the group, and another person joins the group, and another person joins, and then by the end of the fucking film, there's a
army
group
of
of like
people.
5 people that are fucking the most amazing
Or
people you've
7
ever heard,
samurais.
or 7 samurais,
Yeah.
or a weird baby and a little girl and a dragon and like a hamster and a
Yeah.
crow.
Boom. Yeah, exactly.
From Spirited Away.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, it's just like so like this movie felt almost like an anime, like sometimes to me, because they went to like crazy kooky places,
Yeah.
and it was like a group of them, and they were always arguing, and there was like one girl and a bunch of dudes. It felt
Yeah.
like at one point to me, I was like, is this a fucking live action anime that's happening
Yeah, I mean,
right now?
totally.
And are people loving it?
yeah,
Holy
yeah.
shit!
Well,
like
so-
it blew my mind.
Yeah, it was such a mixture of so many things. Like he was saying it on a couple of the on the director's commentary on like, yeah, here it's kind of like a blank movie. I mean, I forgot what other movies he referenced, but you could see so much of it, and that's the way he intended to make it. Where like you could watch this movie 4 or 5 times and
Yeah.
still see something different every single time.
It is a lot of sensory stuff. So if we think of a film as being like something we see, we hear it, and then of course you have the emotions of the characters. This movie was very complete in that sense. They paid attention to what colors were in every scene. The soundtrack
colors
added
were
a
big.
lot to
Well,
the feel of
colors
the
were a
movie.
big
And
Yeah.
he supervises
The
this
emotion.
personally. Like he oversees the
Yeah.
all that stuff.
And there was so much of it planned ahead that in this movie you could tell that everything was made with some purpose, and it wasn't like they were in the editing room like, man, what song can we put? What should we do
They
now?
had this whole film planned out.
Well, and
like
they
they knew what they were doing. But I mean, beyond maybe what people would say. When people, I understand, like they probably improv'd a decent amount, especially with Chris Pratt. 'cause
Possibly, like,
he,
at one point.
I feel like Chris Pratt's the kind of guy that would just.
He
be
does
like,
address it in the commentary
Does
too.
he?
He said
Okay, what
Chris Pratt basically is the only one that
got to.
really does improvise, but they would play off of it would be James and Chris.
Yeah, it wouldn't
on
be like
set.
another
But
person.
most
Okay.
of it is actually written out, and he said, I mean,
Oh,
obviously,
wow.
obviously, the conversations need to feel natural, so he actually takes that into account when he's doing these things, and even with the score was.
Written before the
yeah,
movie.
written, and they would play the score on set, and that way you could move to the music and
Yeah, his
like
the
style of
soundtrack
directing
was
is
already
pretty
picked.
Baz Luhrmann
Exactly.
and
So
Great
like
Gatsby.
you get that performance.
Like, have you ever guys heard? Have you guys seen Wet Hot American Summer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, amazing film. Apparently, that movie, because of the filming schedule, none of it's really improvised. It's all planned out. But that's one of the most improvised feeling movies you'll ever watch.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Mhm.
But because of the actors, and that speaks so well to this movie. Also, it's
Yeah,
like the
it's the
actors
deliveries, yeah.
are so good that everything feels so improvised.
I mean, let's talk about
Everything
the
feels so real.
Let's talk about the actor. Chris Pratt, we already talked about him a little bit.
Star-Lord.
We'll talk about him
Boom.
more. Zoe Saldana has a pretty big name to
Is it
herself.
Saldana or Saldana?
I think
Saldana.
I think it is a Saldana. Yeah, with
Saldana?
that Enya.
Saldana. We're really bad at
And yeah.
pronouncing
I mean-
names here.
I'm from America.
Oh, okay. She did a great. So Gamora is this really strong, edgy character.
The daughter of Thanos.
the
man
daughter
Titan
of
himself.
Thanos. It was a whole other thing. Batista,
crazy.
Dave Batista, who
Just a fucking
Ex-pro
probably
wrestler.
yeah.
WWE guy.
Well, was he a pro wrestler or wasn't he a UFC
He was an
fighter?
ex-pro wrestler first, and then a UFC fighter.
Okay.
But he started in the Man with the Iron Fist. I think a Smallville episode.
I mean, maybe it would be like a dissenting voice.
Uh-oh.
Best performance by him, James Bond.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you
from
like him in Blade
Inspector.
Runner or no?
I haven't seen Blade Runner.
Oh wow!
shit.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you that
he's
right
in
now.
Blade Runner.
Sorry,
Blade Runner,
guys,
yeah.
haven't seen it.
He-
Need to watch it real bad.
He kind of
Yeah.
he kind of cries in Blade Runner.
Yeah, he does
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
That's
he's
good
actually, he's
acting.
actually pretty cool. Yeah,
Now that you say that, I'm like, fucking Dave Bautista's in Blade Runner. Like, I did not know
Spoilers,
that.
yeah.
Well, it's not really a spoiler.
Yeah,
but-
he's the Blade Runner. Gosling isn't in this movie at all.
Yeah, Gosling's
Gosling, Harrison Ford, no, not in the movie.
Check-
Gosling
Harrison
plays
Ford's
the God damn, I can't remember her name. The girl replicant from the first
Oh,
movie.
nice. Yeah,
It's him.
that's awesome.
Rachel.
Yeah,
Who else is there?
You have Sean Gunn and
Bradley Cooper.
playing Rocket Raccoon. Mostly Sean Gunn. When you all the behind
It's
the
Sean
scenes stuff,
Gunn.
like
Yeah.
that's crazy that Sean Gunn doesn't get I think more credit than he
and
does.
he improvises some of
Yeah.
the lines, and they're like, "That was great." Bradley Cooper, say this.
yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and then
and the amount of like stress he put his body through.
yeah, because he's
to
crouching
play
the
that.
entire time.
He's literally crouching like to the ground, like his butt's touching the ground with his legs, like at his
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
like
in a
temples.
green CG suit, so like he's like
It's
dressed in green,
ridiculous.
like, looks like I'm pretty sure on set it makes it kind of hard.
and then
to
he's
act.
also playing another fucking character.
Did you guys
Raglan.
think Bradley Cooper? When I heard them cast that, I was imagining just his normal voice, and watching the movie, I was like, "Who the f is this guy?"
Did not
This is
think
insane.
it was him at all.
Me neither.
When
He
I first saw it,
he got paid more for this movie than he did for
Silver Linings Playbook.
Limitless,
and
the
all
TV
of-
show.
He said a lot of other movies combined. Silver Linings and what's the other one that David O.
American
Russell made?
Hustle.
Yeah, combined. He said he
I
made
feel-
more for this.
I feel like
voiceover.
I was listening to another podcast at one point, and they were
What?
talking about Limitless, and someone goes, "Wait, hold on. Are we not making jokes right now? Is that a real movie you're talking about?" And they're like, "No, it is a real movie." And they're like,
And it is a
"Okay,
joke."
Shut the fuck up.
I heard another podcast, and they're always like, "Gotta get that pill.
Gotta get that
get
pill.
that pill.
Gotta get that pill. I
get
love
it.
that pill.
Give me that pill."
Give me that pill. I love that pill."
that
I know
was the pitch.
I know
Get
that
her on the
podcast.
pill.
That's the pitch for Limitless right there.
that
Look,
pill.
Karen Gillan.
Karen Gillan.
Karen
Awesome.
Gillan.
I
Doctor
knew-
Who alum,
Yeah,
Jumanji.
loved her in Doctor Who.
Didn't
She's
even realize
great.
that she was that character until the second movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Wow, that's crazy.
She's
Yeah.
bald.
Well, yeah.
Didn't know
She
that
act-
she was that character
She
until the second
legit.
movie.
She actually
Shaved her head for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She shaved her head for this one.
That
She didn't
blew
shave
my
her head in the
mind.
second one.
There's
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Demon Hansu in a little role, but
Jaimin
also Kraglin or-
Hansu.
Yeah.
We actually learned the
Blood
pronunciation.
Diamonds.
Jaimin Hansu. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Blood
Blood
Diamond.
Diamonds.
Ugh,
That guy.
tough movie.
Where else is he in? He's in Papa. He's Papa
He's Papa
Midnight,
Midnight
in
in
Constantine.
Constantine.
That movie with
He's
Keanu
al-
Reeves.
I think he's also
Reeves.
in several Medea films. No, just
Okay.
kidding, guys. He's black.
Black Panther.
Black.
Did you-
He's in
so-
Black Panther.
Who was the guy that played
all good.
that admiral
Tarzan.
or that sergeant?
Oh, Denarian Saul
Yeah.
is Pete.
Peter Sefronowitz.
Peter Sefronowitz.
He's
Something
got
like
a
that.
cool voice. He's got
Yeah.
a nice, deep.
Oh, and you have
That guy's cool.
and you have
Like,
John C. Riley also as
yeah.
See,
Day?
the
crazy.
problem with voices in movies like this, to me, is like how much fucking
Sure.
like how much are they like messing with that? you
Yeah,
know, in
that's not your
post?
natural voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
I think
Oh,
for
and
Peter
then you-
Serafinowicz. I don't know who that. Peter S.
Yeah.
Serafinowicz. I think
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah, I think
you're
you're
right when you said
yeah,
that.
you're right.
He
He's in
his
John
voice
Wick.
is kind of he's in John Wick and he's in some other stuff. So actually his voice seems pretty natural.
Yeah.
I don't know about
He's the
like,
Tick. He's the new
Yeah,
Tick.
he's the Tick.
Oh,
Yeah, he's the yeah. That's pretty funny.
I can't
but
He's
Yeah, that
a
was the other
terrible
British-
tick. Honestly, I've watched that show.
I've
He's
not
not
seen
good.
it.
Don't
Oh,
watch
man.
it.
Good.
I mean, no.
Well, the
Putty,
first Tick wasn't that great either.
No, he was the best.
Yeah,
tick,
he got
man.
canceled.
I bet
Putty
you
was the
rewatch
best
it- I
Tick.
bet you if you rewatched it, you'd be like, ooh. But yeah, obviously it's gonna be better. But yeah, and then you have Glenn Close and
For Nova.
Ronan
Nova
the
Prime.
Accuser is Lee
Lee
Pace.
Pace. Yeah.
And Josh Brolin, first time Thanos. Last
Still
time
brought in-
caller.
still
long
brought in
time
kind of
listener.
like-
Yeah.
First time Thanos.
Thanos, long time listener.
He was brought in pretty late in the process. I think Sean Gunn also played
Did
Thanos,
Thanos,
like
right.
as the mocap. Like
But they couldn't give him a third role. Come on.
every
That's
like
cheating.
he's like Taika
Waititi.
Yeah, him and Thor like he played like 3 roles. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, he was just the director, so he just
Sure.
Okay, so I mean, we're not going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy for a second. Josh Brolin as Cable. What are y'all's opinion? Hate it, in my opinion. Don't like it.
I'm not a real big X-Men or Cable fan. So
I don't
I need
think
to watch.
he does not fit that Cable body to me. He fits the Cable voice and maybe the face a little bit. I feel like...
See, I would have agreed with you if I just saw, like, I saw the trailer and I liked it. I saw the concept art and I didn't like it. So, like, maybe the trailer kind of convinced me a little bit.
I'm notoriously bad at names. Guy's playing Venom right now.
Tom Hardy.
He should have been Cable.
Wow.
He's got that Cable body.
You're right.
in my
Venom.
opinion. But see, that's what happened.
Wait, he's Bane.
That's literally what happened. Is I was like, oh, Tom Hardy should have been Cable, and then like it was like, oh, do you want to watch the next trailer? Venom is Tom Hardy, and I was like, oh wait, that makes sense. Also,
I just think Josh Brolin is in every movie now.
Yeah, Jonah Hex.
he's just. Oh God,
Boom.
Jonah
He's actually in a
Hex.
lot of
It's
fucking
like,
movies.
You know, he got
Do you
his
think he was the reason
Oscar.
they put supernatural shit in
Yeah,
Jonah Hex?
yeah, exactly. I know.
Fuck you. You ruined that comic.
But so a really great crap. A really good crap. I had a really good crap today. No, it was a really great cast.
Yeah.
They all played well. All right, so
crazy cast.
we're gonna take our first break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna do our patented trivia show, and then afterwards we'll talk more about Guardians of the Galaxy. Baby.
I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me.
You know, just wait.
Can I have the pin?
I'm gonna explain the rules.
Oh, that's
The
right. You're
rules.
recording already? Okay.
All right, welcome back to our Countdown to Infinity trivia game with the help of Kahoot. So here's how the game works. A question will appear on the screen that you, the listener, cannot see, but trust me that there is one present. We're not reading a script. This wasn't scripted. Can you imagine if we
I'll
scripted?
verify this. It's not scripted, guys.
I'm going to ask a question, a trivia question about Guardians of the Galaxy. There will be 4 answers I'll read. The people in this room are going to play. The hosts are going to play. And the quicker they answer the question on their phone, the more points they get. John has won all but one of
he really?
these things.
Who won the
yeah.
other one?
I even
don't
won the
remember.
Iron Man 3 one, the one where I was like really drunk.
I don't remember.
Oh shit!
We were all hammered.
He said all but one. Maybe that was
You
one.
lost
Maybe
one
that
of
one.
them.
Maybe that one.
You lost one of them.
The one I was
Someone.
really drunk
wasn't me.
and don't remember
It was
playing.
maybe the guest. It might have been Avengers. We had so many people.
Oh, that's
the
right.
odds
Brian,
were
I
against
think,
you.
won.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
Brian won the Avengers one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Anyways,
makes sense. Brian's very smart.
Brian Menard won the Avengers one.
so that's how this is going to go. I'm going to read the question, and then I'm going to read the answers, and you guys choose. Shit, there's music to this?
Yeah, I had no idea.
And then, it's going to be really exciting. If you guys at home want to play, you can't. But you can still win things if you go to facebook.com/DelfinPod, DLFINPOD. We're going to give away a ton of Marvel stuff. This room literally has a ton of Marvel stuff in it that I haven't given away yet.
Yeah, you
But
probably
we will. You're in.
I'm in.
Drawed.
Feces.
Yeah, it's Drod.
All right, make sure you guys have a good
Nasty.
a good eye in here. A good eye in. A good view.
Make sure
A
your
good
brown
view.
eye.
Yeah. Make sure your brown eye is winking at the screen. All right, here we go. We're going to start our Guardians of the Galaxy trivia game. The first question. Ooh. Here's the first question. Who did Chris Pratt base his character Star-Lord after? Did he base it on Snake
Plissken.
Marty McFly, John McClane, or Han Solo?
It's spelling on John McClane.
Yeah, John, they can't see, John.
It's clearly wrong. John McClane.
Yeah, was it Arizona Senator John McCain? Yeah, there were 2 right answers: Marty McFly and Han Solo combined. You guys could have gotten double points,
Oh, yeah, I
but
guess
you
so.
didn't know because
You can only choose one.
Was there only
Damn
2
it.
yeah,
people
that's
who
true.
answered?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
weird.
I totally did not answer in time, apparently.
Nice.
All right, we're gonna. Well, I can't give you points.
Fuck it. Yeah, I fucked up. Whatever.
Scoreboard: A Nasty Andrew is number 1 with a bullet.
We got 20 questions.
Yep, this is gonna last
21
all night long.
questions.
And after each of
Is
them,
it usually
we-
20 questions?
And they all about
Yeah,
15 to
us.
16, yeah.
It's a lot. I mean, this has to last 30 minutes because of the sponsors. Okay, how long did it take to apply Batista's makeup every single day? Did it take him 3 hours, 5 hours, 1 hour, or 2 hours? How long did it
I think
take?
that's easy.
for him to put on makeup.
Yeah.
Booyah!
5 hours. He also did not want to sit. He couldn't sit down because they did his back, so he
Yeah,
stood.
and he had to have his arms up too.
Yeah.
They said, "Oh man, that must."
They
For
have
at least like 3 hours or
yeah,
something like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
But he
They put,
also
he has to stand for periods of time, so they put like stilts
Yeah,
on his
and-
like.
well, didn't they
on
also
his
like
pants.
give him like armrests too?
Yeah, he will have like armor.
Jeez.
Sit up, yeah.
You guys are just describing a horror movie.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
and didn't
know.
they pinch his nipples?
Yeah, hard.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool. That's for every
He
Marvel.
used to have them pierced.
A Nasty, still number one. Question number 3. The soundtrack of this film was the first film soundtrack to ever.
Wait, what?
This was the first. This was the first film soundtrack to reach number 1 on the Billboard charts, win a Grammy Award, be downloaded over 1 billion times, or gross more
got
than
this
the
one
movie.
wrong.
I might have got it wrong also.
The,
Oh, I
yeah,
did
was
it.
about to say no. Hey, I got it wrong.
Yeah.
I guessed.
me and John
Yeah,
did
I
the
was like,
same
wait.
stupid fucking answer.
You guys thought the soundtrack grossed more than this
yeah,
movie?
the second I said that, I was like, "That's so stupid."
You know, a number 1 song now makes
I don't have an
it makes like
excuse.
$50. There's no money in music, guys.
I thought we were talking about Clerks here.
Actually,
Awful.
honestly, I thought the other possible one was downloaded over 1 billion times.
I would believe that. Probably,
Because
probably now.
reached a number 1 on Billboard charts. I feel like like a Cher movie should have done that fucking in the 80s already. Like,
Yeah,
fuck you.
the theme to beaches. Nice.
Guys, I don't know, you guys overestimate the music industry. It's bad. It's awful. You have to sell 10,000 copies of a CD to like
Nice.
silver or
Bust
gold
even,
now.
yeah.
Yeah. It's insane. All right, here we go. Who insisted that Pratt audition for the role? So James Gunn didn't really want him, but who insisted that he be in it? Was it Gunn's assistant, Chris Pratt, Kevin Feige, or Amy Poehler? Who insisted that
I actually
Pratt
don't know this
audition
one.
for
I
the
don't know
role?
this one at all, actually.
Yeah, I'm totally guessing based on
Yeah.
Parks and Recreation.
I
Who
did
can
it- I
guess
did it
what
again.
You did it, Andrew?
I did it.
Gunn's assistant insisted that he sees him.
Okay.
No, I did. Oh, that's a real guess.
And in 30 seconds, James Gunn said, "Hey, this guy has the part," and he's so happy that his assistant.
He's gonna be in the
let him do
next
it.
3 Jurassic Parks.
FYI, his name is Paul Feig.
I don't.
Yeah.
The jury's still
Paul
out. Okay,
Fige.
I'll only.
Feig.
We're gonna have to see.
I'll say cross promotion real quick. If you want to hear more about Paul Feig, listen to
Director's-
Director's Showdown,
Showdown.
on
Boom.
Sticker Fridge Podcast, in which we did literally in hell Director's Showdown, Paul Feig versus Tim Burton, 2 of the worst films directors ever.
Boom.
You guys have to wait until the allotted plug time. I don't know what you don't
Go
get.
fuck
about-
yourself.
Quit plugging me.
Also, we'll keep saying different names for Kevin Feige until we see a long form birth certificate.
Kevin Fegan.
Release it.
Feige.
Release the
Kevin
tapes.
Feige.
Andrew, you're pulling away.
Pulling
I don't know
out.
what the fuck. It's like
Fuck.
Pulling out and
I
away.
only got one question right.
Andrew's the pullout king. You hear that, ladies? So what was made specifically for the film's promotion? Did they make baby trees, telescopes, cassette tapes, or Walkmans? One of these
Oh
things.
God, I already.
One of
chose the
these
wrong
things were
one.
made to promote the film.
I think, yeah.
I'm gonna
It's not
go with this
telescopes.
one, Yeah. Cassette
Yeah,
tapes.
cassette tapes.
Yes. Oh, good.
You all
I
got it
almost chose
right.
Walkman. I was
that's
like,
what
yeah.
I thought was. That's why I thought I.
But I was like,
chose
no, I
wrong.
didn't
I
see any
thought
Walkmans at the time.
seems like something they would make
Yeah.
as a thing, but cassettes is a lot cheaper.
For sure.
You guys all got it right, which is the same as all of you getting it wrong.
That's very true.
That's right, guys. Life
I guess
is
you're not
We're
wrong.
all still in the same place.
Spot, yeah.
Very true.
life is meaningless. All right.
I
Let's
have
see.
1,800 points now, though.
What did Vin Diesel do during the recording of his lines? Vin Diesel, when he recorded the lines for Groot, did he stand on stilts, record in a forest, wear a mask, or drink beer? He
I
did
think
this,
I know this one,
while recording all of his lines. Yeah.
and of course, everyone knows this one.
Boom.
I just did.
Fuck both of you for knowing too much about film.
That was a.
Fuck both of you. I can never win. No, the guests will never win this because John and Andrew know too much about movies.
I give
can't do this.
John and Andrew the answers beforehand also.
Yeah.
So really,
You told me that you didn't when you gave me the answers.
You said it wasn't scripted.
You gave me the answers earlier, and you told me that you didn't give them.
I always text John, I'm like, hey, do you think this would be a good question? All right, cool,
Hey,
thanks.
here's the question. What's the answer to this question? I don't know it.
Whatever you say, I'll make the answer, John. So Vin Diesel was on stilts. Cool. No, so that he could, I guess,
Did he
feel
really
like
do
a
that?
tree.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess so.
it's weird.
Oh.
Yeah, you can actually see the BTS
Him
shots
like that?
of him like standing, like
Well,
looking
the-
down at a mic.
I love how like he's wearing in some of those BTS like videos. He's wearing sunglasses, like so. He's like, it's sunny in there, and he's literally like,
Yeah.
he's Dominic Toretto. He's like his fucking
family.
lines, basically,
He
Family.
he is Dominic Toretto all the time.
all the time.
Family.
Yeah,
All the
apparently,
time
yeah.
now.
Did he have a Corona while he was?
Probably.
That's what he's drinking beer with.
So,
Without you,
hey,
my
so if anyone wants to
friend.
come over tomorrow, I'm gonna have a barbecue at my place. Coronas,
Oh man,
Move.
is
Yeah.
it just for family?
just for fam, bro.
Oh dang.
Family.
Family only.
So, what was the model name of Star-Lord's Walkman?
Oh.
Was it
Star.
the Sony Walkman WM101, the JVC CX57K, the Sony TPS L2, or the Groove E?
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck.
You all
Fuck
picked-
yeah, bitches!
Nice.
I'm the one guy that got it right.
I was like, for sure they're not gonna put anything Sony.
I knew it wouldn't say Sony Walkman in it. That's
Nice.
why I guess.
Oh, nice.
That was me.
Not
That
Sony
shit.
Walkman.
It was the Sony TPS L2. Are you a Walkman connoisseur?
No, I am. I'm gonna guess what these other assholes don't guess, connoisseur.
All right. So that means that Andrew's still on top, but D-Rod, you're coming up from the rear.
Ooh, I'm in front of fucking J Money.
Now in the middle place, and John, you're in last place. Wow, what a turn, huh?
Yeah, that was very disappointing.
Maybe
actually.
you'll get your second wind here.
I even missed a question. Bitch.
Bitch.
You didn't even answer one.
I didn't even answer one, bitch.
All right, question number 8. The soundtrack for this film also recorded lines for which other movie? Was it The Iron Giant, Beauty and the Beast, Fast and the Furious, or Iron Man 2? The sound man who recorded Toretto's
this.
lines.
I
damn
think
it.
I know which one this is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think I
This
just
one's nice.
lied.
Boy, 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 boy. We all got it
Fuck
right.
all of us, yeah.
I almost picked Fast and the Furious.
How Andrew?
I don't know why.
Andrew,
I know.
Have you ever seen
I was
The Iron
panicking.
Giant? Like, how
No,
old were
oh.
you when that movie came out?
To be honest, no, I have not seen that movie.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Ready Player One is about to make you watch it.
Superman.
That's an amazing film.
Yeah.
I've heard. Yeah, it's pretty.
You've never seen
I've never
it either.
seen it either.
You
yeah.
guys are all fucked.
What did James Gunn give out on set to his favorite crew or actor on the set every single day? Was it a stuffed animal, Play-Doh, a DVD of Romeo and Juliet,
Nice,
or a
that would've
bag
been
of seeds? What did he give out to
I'm guessing.
to whoever did well?
I'm guessing. Oh, fuck.
We all guessed
Yep.
right.
We all guessed right.
What
all
if
guessing
Romeo
right.
and Juliet? And
Yeah.
Shit.
Stuffed animals seem so weird.
Yeah.
What's
It
so
does.
wrong with that?
Yeah.
It just seemed like it wouldn't be like a guy who was a Romeo and Juliet director.
Or an adult?
Play-Doh seems much more like a guy.
I couldn't remember if Play-Doh was the Kevin Smith thing or if that was
No, yeah, Kevin
Kevin
Smith
Smith
doesn't
gives
do
stickers out.
stickers.
Yeah, stickers out.
Yeah.
Jerseys.
Do you know why he gives Play-Doh out?
Nope.
To create, bro.
Boom. Yeah, exactly.
He also
about
just
creation.
he also just loves the smell.
You fucked.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick before you go on to the next one, did you hear about Kevin Smith recently?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, heart
Massive
attack.
heart attack.
We-
Prayers
really-
go out, bro.
Thoughts and prayers.
He's at home now.
Yeah, he's doing well
Yeah.
now, so that's pretty awesome.
He's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is cool. He's awesome.
Yes.
And since we're doing
Prayers to a guy that
Yeah.
has millions of
Nice.
dollars.
Send me some thoughts and prayers.
Yeah. Pay for your health
We
insurance.
struggling
you
out
asshole.
here. Yeah, we broke. Just kidding.
quick plug, we have Brian O'Halloran from Clerks on an episode of Revenge of the Sequel coming
yeah, that's
out.
true.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Sweet, cool. How many songs were originally considered for the film's playlist? So there's a lot of songs in it. Were there
Jeez.
120,
Fucking hell.
60, 430, or 22? How many songs
I'm guessing.
We're
I
on the
guess
list
the biggest one.
to be in the movie?
Oh, really?
Oh, none of you got it right.
Whoa.
Nice.
120 songs. That was the original playlist. They started clearing some copyrights, and we have what we have
I
now.
love that I was the only one that guessed 400.
Oh, wow.
that was like
430?
It's all of them. They just
Every
decided to
song.
put every song in this movie.
Everything
At
from
one
that
point.
every song in
from
the
that
world.
decade.
It's like when I used to edit films and every single scene had to have a different song.
Nice.
Suicide Squad.
What does the word Groot mean in the Dutch language? The word Groot, does it mean... Oh, shit. Tree?
I don't see pussy on this list.
Does it mean tree, wonderful, big, or roots? Tree, wonderful, big, or roots?
Yeah, this I don't. Oh,
The word Groot. And guys,
I accidentally picked the wrong one.
we
I
do...
think I might have picked the right one. I have no fucking.
It was an accident. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
No, we all picked the wrong one.
Good.
Groot means big in the Dutch language. We
Who's
do
it?
have an audience in the
yeah,
Dutch
big.
land. So a big shout out. How do you say hello? You guys know,
I
right?
am Groot.
Okay. Groot. We're
I
really...
know how to say it in German. You say "Wie geht's," and that means like "How are you doing?"
I don't know how you Dutch people feel about Germans.
How do you feel about German people taking
Yeah.
over your fucking land in the 1940s, bitch?
We're gonna have to Google that. What side of the war?
I'm a horrible person.
And there goes our Dutch. There goes our Dutch audience. I'm kidding.
You turned it off.
Dude, I am destroying you now, John.
This is the first Marvel film to gross over $300 million without what? Without Robert Downey Jr., a Stan Lee cameo, an after-credit scene, or a scene on Earth. Process of elimination.
I'm pretty sure that's
I tried.
obvious. Or maybe not.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I got it right. Robert Downey Jr. is not in this movie, even though they wanted him to be in it.
I had to think about them as you went. I was like, okay, that one's there.
Stanley was definitely in this
Yeah.
fucking movie.
And then the Earth was.
And I knew
the
Earth
mom.
was in
Yeah,
there, but
yeah,
then I was like,
obviously.
after credit scene?
There's Howard the
Thanos,
Duck. Boom.
Yeah.
So Robert Downey Jr. wasn't in this movie because he just came out and said, "I don't know if I want to be Iron Man anymore."
Well, and there was
so they were like,
there
"Oh,
was
let's
strong,
erase him."
There were strong rumors like at the time of this movie that he was going to be in there because obviously Iron Man has that spacesuit or whatever.
He actually
and
does join the Guardians
Yeah, he joined the
eventually.
Guardians. I
Well,
think
even
right around this
before
time.
then, he went into space.
Sure,
Like,
yeah,
that was
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
thing in Civil War. Like,
Yeah.
he flew up into space and into fucking alternate dimensions.
Yeah, in Avengers.
Avengers.
Yeah.
Avengers. Again, I
Jesus.
don't know the names of these movies.
No, you're good.
Jesus
we're here,
Christ.
I'm gonna be fucking destroying these constantly. Don't have me on again.
And Andrew is still on top. So who turned down the role of Drax? Was it Arnold Schwarzenegger,
easy.
Jason Statham, Jason Momoa, or The Rock? Who turned down the role of
Oh,
Drax?
I messed
the
up.
So I
Destroyer?
guess
I get-
one.
oh,
I have
man.
no idea who this is. Right?
I knew that one. Yeah,
Jason Momoa.
No, it was The Rock. You guys are all liars.
The Rock.
You are a liar too. The guy, you fucking Delphin.
Hey, fuck
just
you,
kidding.
man.
I'm just kidding. This app's a sham. I just leave.
Jason Momoa, who ends up becoming Aquaman. Which
The
is weird. The
Aquaman.
reason why he didn't
Aquaman.
want to do this movie, he said, I don't want to be cast as some just big,
man.
strong
Yeah.
superhero.
He didn't
Yeah.
want it. Yeah.
Instead,
Instead, I'll be cast
It's ironic,
as a really
yeah.
terrible version of Aquaman.
Yeah.
I'm going to go be in a
Yeah.
worse
I'm
movie.
gonna-
He's like,
go ahead and agree
I'm
with you
from the
there.
islands, okay?
Yeah.
I haven't
like
seen
that.
that movie either.
Like I'm pretty sure
That part's
I'm
not,
the only.
That's
I'm
not a
pretty sure
highlight of that movie.
I'm the
if you
only.
do see it.
What is James Gunn's favorite song of all time? He put it in this movie. Is it I Want You Back by Jackson 5, Hooked on a Feeling, Blue Suede, Moon Age Dream by David Bowie, or Go All the Way,
Oh.
The Raspberries?
Damn it.
It's I Want You Back by Jackson 5. Movie ended on that note, didn't it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, well, I did not. I actually tried to guess Moon Age Dream, but when I clicked my phone, it
You
just
clicked Hooked on a
pushed me
Feeling.
to put Hook on a Feeling, but I was going to get it wrong no matter what. So. But I thought Moon Age Dream.
Again,
Yeah, I would have been a little less wrong. Right?
life doesn't matter.
Life doesn't matter.
Wow, 3 in a row for A
You're back
Nasty.
down. You're back down there.
Fuck.
Yeah, if you get like a streak, you get
You
like
get
an
more
actual
points. Yeah.
That makes sense.
But
That's
this
right.
is a long
Yeah,
quiz.
look at the fucking A Nasty's on
Yeah.
fire.
His
11,000.
nasty is on fire.
Yeah. All right. 15. Question 15. What scenes are improvised by Chris Pratt? Which of these scenes? Was it when he drops the orb at the end, when they escape the prison, when they dance, or when he gives the middle
I
finger?
already know which one this
during
I
is.
the
think it's
walk
all-
down?
I've seen. Yeah, we all know this.
Yeah.
There's 2 of them.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
nice.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Because
He
you're
improv
right.
the middle finger part.
Yep. Yeah. James Gunn, like he actually did it to James Gunn, and they were like,
Like off camera?
yeah, we don't know if we could do this. And then he was like, no, I like that. I like that you were so surprised that it was an outcome that you didn't expect. Oh, I didn't
That's
know.
awesome.
So yeah, do it again. So then
Oh,
they
that's
ended
pretty
up
cool.
going
I didn't know
again.
that. And we watched it with the commentary too.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah,
I missed
exactly.
that
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, you diff.
What was the name of the raccoon that was the model for Rocket? There was a real life raccoon. Was it named
know
Buddy, Oreo, Little Ricky, or Burglar
Man,
Brad?
look, mine's still asking like, get ready, set, go. I know the thing too.
Oh,
Oreo.
Fuck yeah. I guess that shit.
think you
That's
looked at
the
my
name of my
screen.
brother's dog.
Wow.
Nice.
Serendipity.
He was really good friends with all the animals on set.
So, Andrew,
came to you just like,
it's
"Or-"
looking like you may win your very first game, Andrew.
Finally.
Is this really?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh man.
Well, don't fuck it up now,
No,
Andrew.
now I'm just
Andrew,
gonna-
don't
I'm-
fuck it up.
I'm gonna fail
Andrew,
right now.
don't fuck this up.
I'm gonna fail.
Don't fuck this up,
You
Andrew.
might win the keys to a 2009 Kia Soul. Only 400,000 miles.
2009.
So, cross your fingers, buddy. You may need an engine. It's just used for parts.
Just for parts.
Just for parts.
Does not work.
What was the name of the writer of this film? The first female to be credited in an MCU
Damn it,
movie.
John knows this one.
Is it Nicole Perlman, Diablo Cody, Jane Goldman, or Melissa Rosenberg?
I'm not even into the question yet.
I'm just going to guess a name. I know, obviously, it's not.
I did it.
Oh,
It's Nicole Perlman.
fuck. I knew
What
it wasn't
happened?
Diablo Cody, obviously.
John's phone got stuck.
Yeah, it's hold on.
Good.
No.
Oh, well, is that
That's
your
life.
saving grace, Andrew? Because John's phone got stuck?
Both of them didn't answer questions.
I answered a question.
No. I'm saying like at the
Oh
beginning.
yeah,
remember?
at the very beginning I did.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
There we go.
All right, here we go. John,
Now
I'm
you'll
sorry
never
about
catch
that.
me.
That sucks because I didn't know it was Nicole Perlman.
I know. Well, so did I, as you can tell.
Me, though.
Yeah, as you can see, I knew it also.
If we go off
I've
on a small little
honestly
tangent,
been looking over both of y'all's shoulders, like trying, but y'all are so fucking fast with
That's how I
pushing
thought
the
you got
buttons.
the
I
answer to the
cannot
last one.
see anything.
So Nicole Perlman is also writing
Captain Marvel.
Pretty Insane.
Captain Marvel.
She's one of the most
Oh.
successful female screenwriters.
And who is
now.
that playing Captain Marvel?
Brie Larson.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Allison Brie Larson.
Dave Franco's girlfriend.
Larson.
I'm
James
shaking my
Franco.
head right now because that just sounds insane to me.
Oh,
Oh wow, yeah.
I'm not
Academy
sure.
The set
Award
photos. There's
winner.
actual set photos of her in the
Yeah, I
Captain
have
Marvel
seen
thing.
him, and
all right, here we
Brie
go.
Larson. I just see her.
Who was meant to
Envy
die
Adams.
at the end of this film? There's an original draft. Someone dies. Was it Gamora, Rocket Raccoon, the Collector, or Yondu? Who was supposed to die?
I don't know this one.
I think I got this one.
I
I
guess
think I knew this one.
You might be making
no,
this
I
up.
was wrong.
I did it again.
Yondu.
Damn it.
I am
You
on
done the second
fire.
one.
Well, why
damn it.
wouldn't Yondu die at the end of this one?
I'm on a
They
7
make it
answer
the deal.
streak.
That's so
That's true,
obvious.
yeah.
However
Seven
stupid
answer
are we?
streak.
Andrew's won
I
seven
thought
in
you
a
were calling
row.
me stupid. I was like, you got it wrong too.
I know.
Seven in
We're
a row,
both
baby.
stupid.
God damn it.
I thought the Collector because I think I remember that fucking
John, you pick Gamora?
other
I picked
thing
Gamora.
where Collector died at one point.
So Andrew
pretty
is
sure
now
There was
This-
like an alternate ending.
This might be
Yeah.
the highest score you've ever had on there, actually.
maybe.
To be honest.
That's what I was
No,
thinking. I was
go,
like,
yeah, this is
no, go
weird.
fuck yourself, Andrew.
No, but-
you don't
no,
have
I think
to
it's
fucking
like 20
answer
questions. I
or
think
you're
it's
a
like
piece
20
of shit.
questions.
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah,
had like
I think so.
16 or 17
For sure.
questions before.
Andrew's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Andrew is now looking. He's looking for the
I think
record
I hit a
books.
million.
Yeah, he's.
No.
You're for sure getting that Kia
not a
Soul.
million.
I'm just not gonna answer
That's
for the next.
16,000 points. That's like nowhere near a million.
Yeah, I know. I think I hit a million.
This film was number 3 domestically in the USA. Which film was either number 1 or number 2?
Number one.
You just have to pick number 1 or number 2. Was it American Sniper, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1,
guessed.
Captain America Winter Soldier, or the
I
Lego
don't
Movie?
know this one. Fuck.
I'm going with the Lego movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Domestically,
No, man.
you're all idiots. Number 1.
American Sniper is by far one of the worst movies ever made.
Number 1 movie in 2014, American Sniper.
Worst movie, one of the worst movies ever made.
Number 2 was Hunger Games
I heard that baby's pretty
Mockingjay.
bad.
A little bit better.
And then it was Guardians, followed by Captain America Winter Soldier, and then the Lego Movie.
What the
Lego
that
movie
shit?
should have been.
I agree.
Lego movie was
Yeah.
And
fucking
that blows my mind because it's a
high.
kid movie also. So
Yeah,
like,
why wouldn't that gross
whoa,
more than any of the
yeah,
other ones?
exactly.
Yeah.
That's
It
crazy.
won Oscars.
Yeah.
Like, as a kids movie.
Well, even then, like, you know, kids' movies, like, they take a lot of bank. Like,
Yeah.
you don't
Oh,
like
yeah.
you don't like to fight
especially
against them.
Lego movie because the Lego movie is not technically CGI. They
Right,
actually
yeah,
did like
the
a
stop
mix
motion.
of
It's almost like
CGI
stop motion.
and stop motion.
Yeah.
So like, how expensive was that fucking movie?
For real.
And they made all their money back on
Yeah,
top of that.
for sure.
But you guys are
insane,
forgetting,
that's not.
kids don't have money, but patriots, Americans,
I guess so. I mean, if you, yeah.
A bunch of fake babies.
they have money.
Yeah, big baby.
Fake babies have all the money.
Here we go.
All right, here we go.
Fucks.
Last question. There is a possibility that
No, there's no
There it is. Shut the
I
hell
am
up.
not gonna
There's
answer
no possibility
for this one.
Andrew, don't be a bad sport.
I
I'm not
might,
gonna answer.
I might beat John, but Andrew's winning.
Hey, I'm
Here we
gonna
go.
not
Last
answer
question.
so that we're all on even playing field.
Which actors were also considered for roles in the film? Hugh Laurie, Alan Rickman, Ken Watanabe, or Alyssa Milano? Which of
I'm
these?
guessing. I'm gonna say someone that was might have been dead when this movie was made.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, I think, like, wait.
Alan Rickman.
Oh, and you're not answering.
I'm not answering so that
Yeah,
we
he
even
decided not to answer
even
because
the playing
all of us
field.
missed one.
Oh, fucking
we were
shit.
wrong.
Yeah,
You
we're
guys
both
still
wrong.
didn't get it.
And we both,
We all got the same amount of penalties because we all
no
got it
matter
wrong.
what,
There were 3 right answers. Hugh
we
Laurie,
sucked.
Hugh Laurie, Alan Rickman, and Ken Watanabe were
No,
considered.
no. It was
Wait,
just
am I doing it right?
Hugh Laurie
Oh,
and
and
Ken
Ken
Watanabe.
Yeah.
Wait,
Watanabe.
where were they supposed to
Watanabe.
be? What was Ken Watanabe supposed to be?
I don't know.
Who is Ken Watanabe?
He's from Inception.
Inception, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
a ton
And
of
he was
other
probably
things.
supposed to be like
Godzilla?
the
Godzilla?
collector,
Probably, yeah, you're right, yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
could
Hugh
see it
Laurie was
being-
probably the same person. I bet
Yeah.
they were considered for the exact.
For the-
I bet all
Probably.
these people
No.
were considered for the exact same fucking.
No,
person.
Hugh Laurie was.
Except Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano
who
is the collector?
Clearly the fucking wrong.
The name of the ship. Yeah.
random shit. Yeah.
Hugh Laurie was going to play House
What's the name? Yeah.
Rocket.
He was gonna play. He
Yeah.
was gonna diagnose what their problem was at the end of
and
the movie.
with his drug problem.
Oh, so Andrew won, I guess.
Andrew, you won,
Andrew
buddy.
won.
I did it.
9 out
What?
of 20.
He got 15 out of 20 questions right. D-Rad,
Oh, man, I
you're
suck.
you're batting under 500.
I got a 40% at most.
John, you'll have to give Andrew the ceremonial hat that you take every week.
Why does it say done?
Huh?
What?
We'll see you guys at the end of this break. Don't forget, this was sponsored by the 2009 Kia Soul. 400,000 miles, still on Craigslist. You text me if you want it, but you've got to take it to yourself. I don't have any means of getting it off a lot.
You need to buy it.
210-555. No.
Give yeah. And it says or best offer, but the price is pretty firm.
Yeah, it's pretty.
All right, guys. We'll see you at the other end of this break.
Its taste is on my mind. Girl, you got me thirsty for another cup of wine. Got a bug from you, girl.
Andrew, how'd you like that drive around the block?
Yeah, the winner's circle is what they call it. I
How
believe.
was that, man?
It was all right. I had to push the car.
Yeah, well,
He did say it was just like, yeah, exactly. Just an engine.
400,000 miles, Andrew. That wasn't a good deal.
Yeah.
If you won, you would really lose.
Yeah, I
like
tried
4
to
feet.
lose at the
Yeah,
end
like-
so that I would not take the
I
car.
feel like the last time we did this, there was also a car that was sponsored.
What car was it this time?
Wasn't
I
it
don't even
Toyota
remember.
last time?
Was
You
it
guys were just
Nissan or
Yeah.
Honda?
Something
We're
like
sponsored
that.
by a bunch of car companies.
Because we know if you're listening, you're driving. Statistically, people who listen drive.
Statistically, people drop the podcast right after that shit.
Yeah, so now, statistically,
Now-
the listeners love the trivia game so much that you stop listening after. But fuck it, we still have an after, and this is the danger zone. Let's keep talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, what?
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 Yeah, that's it.
Am I right?
And it's so crazy because I feel like we've been talking about it for a long time, and we barely even scratched the surface
Yeah.
of what this movie
What probably
is.
actually
Yeah,
is. Like we
yeah,
didn't
for
actually
sure.
go into like plot details or anything like that.
Oh, yeah,
either,
yeah.
which is kind of crazy. Well, that kind of speaks for itself. But plot
Yeah.
basically, I mean, it's kind
Right.
of like a ragtag group
Yeah,
of people
it's
who become a family.
Yeah, boom, family. Vin
Yeah.
Diesel.
Wow.
Some parts aren't totally well developed. I mean, Ronan, as cool as he is kind of like a very two-dimensional villain.
Yeah,
I mean, he looks really cool, and he
He's
actually
sort
sounds
of
really cool.
religious, right? In
Yeah,
a
he's
way?
kind of like a fanatic.
yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of
Yeah.
like
a demagogue.
A terrorist.
a terrorist. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
terrorist,
Oh, yeah.
A lot of
Almost
buzzwords. We're using a lot of buzzwords right now. A charlatan. Your turn.
God damn.
A pot. Damn it. You had a good stretch there, guys.
Yeah,
we were very intellectual for a good couple of minutes there.
If I can just nerd out for a bit, though, Ronan the Accuser is actually a really cool villain in the Marvel
yeah.
universe.
It sucks that Marvel
He
just
gets
has to kill
blown
off.
up.
Yeah, he
kill off all their
he's killed
villains.
off, yeah, which is kind of because like he's a real big Avengers villain. I've seen him in like multiple comics and in cartoons that
Yeah.
the Avengers fight. Yeah, like that little hammer thing that he has is like almost as strong as Thor's
Universal
hammer.
weapon?
Yeah, the universal weapon. It's as strong as Thor's hammer in the comics and stuff, and this one is kind of broken by
Well, and
a little
I
missile.
like.
Oh, yeah, I never knew that.
by a little missile.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I just knew it from the movie.
From the movie, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
that-
character is
that's
like
ridiculous.
He's big, like that motherfucker. Like he's an actual Avengers villain,
Right.
And he's like really related because he's Kree, so he's related to Captain Marvel. But yeah, and this movie kind of doesn't make him look like a bitch because he obviously like he
Overpowers Drax like it's nothing. He makes
overpowers
Drax look like a bitch.
He
He's
fights
powerful.
the Alexis Denisov, or he kills his character.
Yeah, the other.
Yeah, he snaps his neck. Or
Well,
something.
and I like how James Gunn in the commentary pointed out that like the other pushed around Loki, and Ronan killed the other like it was nothing. You know, broke him, snapped him like a
Yeah.
twig.
But his character's kind of. I mean,
But they've been historically they've like just thrown like really insanely like big characters just through the side.
yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
Like
that's
they've done that just as a
that's
Marvel.
a
They have
that's a
plenty
Marvel
of
trope.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
They
a
have
Marvel
quite a
trope.
few.
Yeah, where they kind of it sucks because that's. I think this movie is kind of more apparent than any of the other ones because like
Yeah.
the story is so strong up until that point.
Well, and you have
It's
so
just
many
kinda like,
characters
it's a
that you
little
have to
weird.
get through too. You know, so it's not just the one protagonist and the love interest or whatever. You know, the supporting.
I think it's
But-
probably the most difficult thing after a 10th movie is making a villain that doesn't seem like you've seen it before.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
the
and-
heroes are obviously going to be people we're going to root for no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a comic book movie. But to choose a villain that people will root against but still understand is pretty difficult, especially if, I mean, by this time we've seen so many of them come and go just at like we're at a brothel.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, if you're
right.
but like totally. I mean, I totally see what you're coming from though, because like even the movie before this, which was well, actually the movie before this we haven't technically recorded yet, but
Nice.
the movie before that,
Boom.
was
Yeah, the more complicated it can be, the more nuanced, the better.
Yeah.
And I think, we're obviously not going to talk about Black Panther for a long, long time, but
Yeah, and that
or
yeah,
even like Winter Soldier stuff, which is
yeah,
like, pretty
that's-
crazy.
the villains are so insanely complicated in those movies, and it's better for it because you're like, I don't know if they're good or bad or what. And for this one, you're right, it is a little bit, but I feel like a ton of the focus of the movie is mostly on the team. Because in a way, they're each other's villains too. They're always
Right.
stopping each other or not working together. It's
Well,
insane.
you got like a secondary villain who has a little bit more development though. You have Nebula, who's played
Nebula.
by Karen Gillan, who has a little bit more of a arc than Ronan does, which
Right.
is kind of weird. Because
just because she's
obviously-
Thanos' daughter and she plays a big part in the
and also because it's Karen Gillan. I mean, also the
Infinity
character, name itself.
War.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. It's a little baffling to me that they would kind of not develop. Ronan just goes from like a dude who wants to destroy something to a dude who's gonna destroy something. Like that's basically his
Yeah,
arc.
and it sucks because Lee Pace does a good job with
he
the
plays it
role
really well. Like,
Yeah,
he's kind of scary, like the way the performance is. Like he's kind of like
it's kind of alien-y in the beginning with that tar and all that.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's
it's
actually
kinda like
actually
some-
bathing in
some-
blood.
yeah.
He's actually bathing in Xandarian blood.
right. Because
That's
that's
freaking crazy.
basically it.
Almost
Is
like a
that
communion.
his
Yeah.
culture, like his father and the father of the father and the father of the father. You know, they all died in this war between the Kree and the Xandarians. So they've been at war for a long time. And meanwhile, Nova Prime, Glenn Close, comes in and signs a peace treaty. And he's like, "What? Like my father's died. You know, my grandfather's died in this war,
Yeah.
and now it's nothing." So he ultimately becomes kind of terroristic.
Well, as much as we didn't like Thor, not that we didn't like,
Terrific
but
touristic.
just as much as we thought that Thor: The Dark World was so different and kind of slow, and maybe at the bottom end of the Marvel movies, it did so much to expose the general audience to what Guardians is, which is an entire movie that mostly takes place outside of Earth, and it's so
Right.
different
Yeah.
from all the Marvel stuff. But it's this foray into the galaxy.
One of the things, talking about anime, like
Yeah.
I said, like it reminds me of the anime so much. It reminded me of the anime Outlaw Star a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone remember that anime or whatever, but it's like about people just traveling the stars, going to like colonies and like hitting up these like little like made up colonies. And that's what this movie really reminded me of. They just like flew to like one place and another place, and I mean, you got to understand the context and like the culture of each one of these places that
Yeah.
they went to, and it was like so much more world building than was necessary almost in a movie like this.
Right,
But
yeah.
they did so much of it, and then on top of that, they introduced all these characters. So it was like. That's why, in my opinion, it's almost one of the
Yeah,
best
like some of them
films.
have to
They
be,
were
yeah.
able to do all
Have
that
to
kind
fall
of
off
shit.
by the way.
Yeah, and they even have like the burden of like, oh, you've got Thanos, which is the big bad of like all of this movies, and you have to introduce another Infinity Stone, and the Collector even explains all the Infinity
Hey,
Stones.
there's a
and
big
things like that.
exposition part. Like,
So,
with those-
Yeah, this is the first movie we ever heard what
The stones are,
Infinity
yeah.
Stones and
Right.
the exposition for that is.
Exactly.
And
so
why you need them?
Yeah, yeah, and
yeah.
that's why it's so crazy because, like, obviously it starts with the Infinity Stone, where like Yondu wants it, so
Countdown
Quill,
to
infinity to infinity and beyond, baby.
An Avengers podcast available now on Spotify.
Spot your fi, bitch.
Yeah,
It's
but yeah,
That's the tagline to this episode
Basically, it all revolves around getting the Power Stone. I think that's the one. It's
for
the
this
purple
one,
one.
yeah.
So they take the Power Stone and they kind of build the team as they go with the stone, and they have every reason to do wrong in this situation, but they all kind of pull together at the end. And
I
you
will
know,
say that sounds very Harry Potter to me.
yeah.
Of just like, we gotta get the Power Stone.
Horcrux.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
We gotta get the
uh-huh.
Horcrux. We gotta get the fucking one of the Deathly Hollows.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that's what it seems.
What's
Deadly
great-
Swallows.
I think it's just like that. This most MacGuffin based movies are kind of like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just the things around it that makes it
Sure.
different than other stuff.
Yeah.
But you saying that right now, just like, so this is one of the first real MacGuffin-based Marvel films.
I think this is like the third MacGuffin-based Marvel film.
Mm-hmm.
It was
What
like-
would you say the
Tesseract,
ones are?
right?
So, yeah, the Tesseract.
kind of-
okay.
and then the Thor: The Dark World had the ether.
Thor's
the ether,
dad's
yeah.
love
Okay.
was
I
a
don't
physical
remember that too
MacGuffin.
much,
The
but
love of
But it's
a
another
father.
like any of the movies,
With
any
an
of the Marvel
Infinity
movies with an
Stone, I guess.
Infinity
But I will
Stone
say
are like
the
are MacGuffin
Tesseract
based.
is more not a MacGuffin just because there's that moment at the beginning where it literally creates like destruction.
Yeah.
like it's not. It has a direct effect on the people in the movie, versus what a MacGuffin really is, where like no one fucking cares about it.
Yeah,
Right.
Like it
just
doesn't
an
really,
item,
it
yeah.
doesn't like it doesn't actually affect really the people in the movie that much. Mm-hmm. This is one of the first movies. Like this almost feels like Casablanca. Now that you say that, where just people are just like running after something that like we as the audience don't give a shit about this,
Right.
until the very end,
Right, yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, that makes. I mean, that's pretty cool. I feel like at this point you have to kind of get this kind of storyline out of the way, because of the whole fact that they're building towards this Infinity Gauntlet storyline.
Yeah, well,
It's-
and the fact that there's a couple of there's a limited number of stones. They're like, all right, we have to plant these in each franchise or something, you know?
Right.
Well, think about how insane this is because of those Infinity Stores and the MacGuffins, that they're building a plot 10 years, and whenever the first one came from. So from Iron Man, there's an over arc that
There's
starts
so many
there
MacGuffins.
and goes so much
Yeah.
MacGuffins.
I mean, it's true.
So
Yeah,
many
like-
MacGuffins.
And there's a lot of McMuffins
everywhere.
too.
McMuffins.
It's you.
From McDonald's.
McMuffin.
But there's so much driving it, and it's something that if we're talking about Harry Potter, if that's a franchise similar to this movie, the Horcruxes only come in the last two,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh well, the first ones were good, they learned something, but these last two, this is where they're collecting.
search.
Yeah, and that's when they end. And then Marvel movies, that's when they begin.
Yeah, they started a whole while
And
ago.
that's like when that's when actually like we as like comic book, people
Sure,
that like
right.
this shit, that's when it begins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like after they've introduced this bullshit.
Well,
and
and
we're
it's-
like, we're done with that stupid bullshit.
Yeah.
It's an insane, like, leading crescendo to.
Well, and it
whatever.
helps that like it's not there for nothing, you know. Like eventually, obviously, Thanos is gonna get the glove and all that good stuff.
Well,
So-
I think it's something that's replicated all the time now.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
If a movie now thinks there could be a future, in the origin movie, they'll try to be
plant those seeds.
guys,
yeah,
check
Yeah.
out this box that I'm putting in this scene of this movie that's going to gross way less than we paid for it.
That
Nice.
annoys the shit out of me, though.
Sure.
When people do that, like
You
like,
wait
People do that
until the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have
Yeah,
third
I mean,
reboot.
some
that's-
insane.
What is that? That's fucking season 2 of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Boom.
Where they're just like, let's put some random shit in that's
Yeah.
clearly going to be like
Right.
a spin-off or something.
yeah.
That's obviously the
Everyone
worst
knows what episode
ever.
that
Sorry,
is.
smacked my microphone real hard. It's like
in peace,
that
headphone
was the
users.
worst episode of that show ever. Sorry. Anyway,
Maybe the worst
fucking
episode.
hated Stranger Things
Season 2.
season 2. I liked a lot of it. I hated that fucking episode.
That
Everyone
one
knows
episode.
Everyone knows what episode I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I haven't seen
The
it.
shitty one.
you
The
should
shitty one.
I didn't see the second season because I knew it wasn't going to be as good as the first. So
just skip that episode.
A friend of mine recently was like, "Yeah, I started watching Stranger Things. I finished the first DVD." I was like, "What? Wait, hold on. What?
me tell
like,
you
what?
about
Do you not have Netflix?
things keep
You're
happening to
watching
me.
this? Like, is it?" I now understand why it's taking you so long.
It's on DVD. That's impressive.
It's also-
all in its own.
Season 2's already on DVD, man.
I didn't
It's
know it
also
was
on VHS. It's an insane
Yeah.
thing that Netflix
Is it really?
doing.
Yeah.
yeah,
it is.
it is.
Wow.
Well, they did a cool thing where like Target has.
It's like a VHS box,
It's
but
a
like for your
VHS
Blu-ray.
box.
Yeah.
You open up the VHS box and then you open it like a clamshell.
Yeah.
It's
See, that would be the only reason I'd want it.
fucking amazing looking.
For
No,
nos-
it's
nostalgia?
honestly like one of the coolest looking DVD boxes
Nice.
I've ever seen.
Yeah, because it looks all aged and stuff, and it looks pretty cool. Like you would grab it at a video store.
Nice, that's
basically.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's gonna be worth nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They make a
it
billion
looks
of
great.
everything now. That's not limited time only. Well, so speaking of nostalgia, bringing it back, this is a great segue. Just so you guys know, guard your loins.
Okay.
It's a great fucking segue, guys.
This right now.
Guard your loins.
We talk about all this world building and all that stuff that's happening outside.
Coming! Oh, I didn't guard my loins.
But it kind of adds a little bit more to just how not pandering it is to have good music from Earth, because that's the only thing keeping this movie
Right.
grounded
Tied to
is
Earth,
Chris
right.
Pratt
Yeah, yeah.
You're
and then the
totally right.
soundtrack.
You're
and it's
totally
not,
right.
it's not just some random fun thing that they did because it would be nice in a commercial,
and that's
but it
why
actually
they-
had some purpose.
And that's why they started it at Earth, like
Yeah.
on Earth, with that soundtrack, and then they brought it to the galaxy.
Yeah.
because then you had like a fucking idiot who was watching this movie, not like us because we're fucking geniuses. But yeah, like a fucking moron that was watching this movie would have that. They would
It's
apply
nice.
that.
Yeah.
Hey, I listen to that
applicable,
song.
Yeah, but that's also why the second movie blew.
Yeah,
with
blew
its
it, yeah.
fucking soundtrack thing.
Yeah, so it's
God damn
overkilled.
it. That was my. Y'all are gonna do the
Second
the
eventually.
second movie.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
but
Kurt
that
Russell's
part
Kurt
was
Russell's gonna be on the pod. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
So you could tell him to his face if you want.
It was just that one moment where what was it? They played Sabotage, and I think it was like Rocket Raccoon or someone was like, "Oh, what is this classical music?" That I was just out. I'm like, I'm done.
You know what's gonna happen
Shitty film.
in the
That was
Star
that was Star Trek.
Star Trek Beyond.
Fuck that movie.
Yeah, nice.
Star Trek Beyond, which you can't really
That
tell.
was-
It's probably actually Star Trek Beyond. If we're going on into a tangent there,
Oh boy.
that is very heavily influenced off of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
Sure,
sure.
yeah, oh yeah,
They
most
came
definitely.
out post Guardians.
So did-
It
like,
feels like a Guardians movie at one
Simon
point.
Pegg, baby.
Yeah. Well, so you know what I think is gonna happen? Infinity Wars. When Iron Man meets Guardians, I think they're gonna play Iron Man or something.
That's what I'm-
something
I'm
really
kinda scared.
on
That
the
would
nose.
be crazy.
I'm a little scared of that because like I get that like one of the defining tropes of this Guardians franchise now is having pop songs associated with them.
But-
But I don't want that to happen like in Infinity War. Like just
Oh,
like,
it's gonna happen.
Hooked on a feeling coming on when like this ship
Yeah,
is
yeah,
flying out of
exactly.
nowhere. Like
I already
it's
saw
kind
it.
of weird. Like
I already saw this
They
happening.
play
I don't
the
know,
awesome
it's just
mix
really-
while they're fighting Thanos.
yeah, and see like and then you add a soundtrack to that scene. It's just like wait what? Like,
Chad.
Well, let's
Dance
talk-
off Thanos.
Let's talk cameo. We do this all the time, every week. There's a Stan Lee cameo. Do you guys remember it?
Yes,
You know what it is?
the first introduction of Rocket and Groot. Rocket's looking for a bounty with his little spectacles or some sort of high tech gear.
There's an old man.
Yeah, and he looks and
galactic
he's like,
monocle.
yeah, and basically, Stanley's hitting on a alien. Yeah, boom.
You know, that's not the original. Do you guys, have you guys heard of the original Stan Lee cameo?
Yeah,
I wonder
he
if
was gonna
it's
be
filmed already.
The Watcher.
no, he was going to be as like the actual
Oh,
Stan
in
Lee
the-
was going to be in the
yeah.
collector's
Oh,
like,
nice.
booth.
Oh,
the collectors.
that
and
would've
he
been
also
awesome.
flicks
But he was
off.
supposed to be flicking it off. Yeah,
Yeah.
flicking off the camera.
And Disney wasn't down for 2 flicks.
They weren't.
Yeah.
If it's 2 flicks, you're playing with it.
Yeah,
You
One
can
flick?
have Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
And have Stanley flicking off the camera.
Well, let's talk about that. Howard the Duck has a cameo in the after
Played
in
by
after
Seth
credits.
Green.
Howard the Duck, first Marvel film ever made.
Yep.
Yeah.
Steven
Boom.
Spielberg's movie. Yeah.
Seth Green.
But also, there's a Lloyd Kaufman cameo. I think you already talked about him in the prison sequence.
The kiln.
Lloyd Kaufman, the founder of Troma.
It's pretty cool.
Yes.
Now, how many more cameos? I know Mickey Mouse
You
is in
guys-
this.
John C.
Nathan Fillion's in there
Nathan
also.
Fillion's
Yeah, he plays a voice.
Check out
Yeah.
the new meat.
Yeah, he
that
plays
guy.
an alien at the beginning. There's another. I think John C. Reilly's an actual cast member. I don't know
Right.
if
Yeah.
it's a cameo,
He's
but like,
definitely more of a...
Day.
but he's. I mean, it's pretty cool because you don't normally see like the thing about James Gunn is he grabs actors that you wouldn't normally see in these roles, and he kind of like
Yeah.
that's someone that you wouldn't really.
Well, that was really
as
cool.
a galactic
So-
space police. Everyone
this
looks
is-
weird in this movie. It's just kind of weird, like pretty fun.
So I'll also be like, I don't know. I'm gonna, what's it called? Plug another podcast. Not my own
Here we go.
podcast.
Here we go.
Jesus
And
Christ.
another podcast altogether. You guys should listen to How Did This Get Made? Or not How Did This Get Made? Fuck, that's not the wrong.
I was like,
That is a
wrong
good
one
podcast. I
altogether.
like
That
it.
is
With
a good
Paul
podcast.
Scheer.
I was there too with fucking Matt McConnell. I can't remember.
I've heard
the
of
guy's
this
name.
one.
But he did one with Steve Agee about Guardians 2, and they talked about a lot of those things about like how they came up with the ideas of people and how like there was an idea of what the Ravagers might be or the idea of what these people might be, and then like more of like how on the set it became a thing.
Yeah.
So like listen to the episode of how I was there too with Steve Agee, because that really like puts you into the mindset of like what it was like to be there when you're filming at
you're
least
filming this,
Guardians
like-
2.
Yeah.
Because he was there filming Guardians 2.
Right,
And
yeah,
that
Steve
was
Agee,
pretty
yeah.
fucking cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was really cool. Like he talked about just like being on set. Like he was only there for like 3 days, whatever. Like you guys have seen Guardians 2.
Yeah.
Steve Agee is what like he has like 5 lines.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
guy who has the beer and then gets
Yeah,
last
he's the one
Yeah.
that's like, can I crush this little
Yeah.
plant Groot, whatever.
Just awful. Just an awful
yeah,
guy.
he's a horrible character.
Yeah.
Just off.
A quarter is 25.
Yeah, exactly.
We can't buy boots with 25
Yeah,
units.
yeah, exactly.
But that's a great episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
pretty interesting. Like the Ravagers, basically in this movie, he's like, "Yep, those are all my good friends." I just decided to just put
Yeah,
him
he
there.
does say that, yeah.
And,
And then-
he basically picks actors that he cares about. He
Yeah,
says, 'cause,
Michael Rooker.
Right, yeah. I mean, even people like Nathan
I just love
Fillion
the
and-
aesthetic though, because like all of these are not like, I mean, I don't want to. They're not like really good-looking people, so they look alien enough like to be on screen
Jesus
like that.
Christ.
It's kind of crazy.
Wow.
I mean, I
Yeah,
don't want to say it like that, but it's just like
They're real uggos.
I guess that's what I meant. What I would meant to go into was like he talked about that basically, like how he casted those random
Yeah.
fucking uggos and stuff,
Yeah.
and like the weirdos.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Like how like why they are so cool.
yeah,
basically.
exactly. Yeah, it adds to the coolness and the weirdness of the
and
movie.
he
Like, it's
even
just like
stays.
they look pretty cool.
Like he himself is obviously a comic book fan, so he even makes them characters from the comic
he'll-
book.
he'll
So
pull out
like he
names,
plants
yeah.
Easter eggs, obviously, so that way you can have the other fans can play with it, or whatever.
Remember, 2 flicks.
Yeah, 2 flicks. Yeah.
Then you're playing with it. Well, let's talk about. Oh shit! What was I going to say? Oh, let's talk about how this movie plays into the overall arc of the other Avengers movies. We talk about this with the other ones because they directly affect the next Avengers movie. This one, oddly,
Very
doesn't
self-contained.
really-
Besides Thanos.
Yeah, other than Thanos,
Yeah.
doesn't need to rely on anything.
In fact, I think the Thanos part, like now in retrospect, like watching it, a couple of years from it, I think whenever we first saw Thanos, it was kind of cool to actually see him and then actually have him talk. He's kind of a little jarring to the whole thing now. It's kind of because you can totally tell that that's the thing that Marvel told him to put in.
Right.
Just like, hey, like we need to set this up in a
We
couple
just
of years.
casted Josh Brolin.
Yeah, exactly. Like we need to set this up in a few years, so please put this in. So, but other than that, I think that that kind of answers your question. Like it's the Thanos and the Infinity Stone aspect of this plot that kind
Right.
of overarch, the entire MCU.
Yeah, it shows the Tesseract and Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, they do.
thing,
Yeah, they
and,
show-
it
they
shows
show
the
various
ether
things.
and
If anything, it gives a lot of context to what is the threat because we've seen Earth in trouble like every Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Right.
But to have, I guess, the entire existence of everything.
Well, I think James Gunn also said something that like is really cool, and I've kind of adapted it to my storytelling aspect. If I'm ever telling like storylines, like big storylines, it's like he likes the aspect of mortals playing in the realm of gods, and that's kind of like what the whole story's about, basically. And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
'Cause, if you just have like I don't know some sort of weird Lovecraftian cosmic force affecting a very personal storyline, that's pretty awesome. You get like great movies like I don't know, like The World's End by
Yeah.
Edgar Wright, which is
Right.
like almost around the same thing. It's just something extraordinary happening to to very small people. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Speaking of very small people, midgets. So let's wrap this up. What are your final thoughts? I'll let whoever you want to start. Andrew, you can start. What are your final thoughts on
Me?
Guardians of the
Damn.
Galaxy,
Put me on the spot.
Volume 1?
So rewatching it, it was still really cool because I think that this one is so much better than the second movie, and the second movie lingered as the last thing I saw of the Guardians. That's why it's so refreshing. I can't wait to see the Russo brothers take over the Guardians in Infinity War because it's going to be so different. Obviously, James Gunn might be a consultant on somewhat of the process, but
yeah, the credits of that movie are going to be 3 days
Yeah.
long, probably.
and yeah, for sure. But it's interesting to see that they'll be portraying they'll be kind of like Thor's supporting characters because they're on their way to make his new weapon or whatever.
Yeah.
But in this movie, it was refreshing again because it still stands the test of time, even with all I've seen Black Panther, I've seen Thor Ragnarok, I've seen all those movies, and to me they wouldn't be possible without Guardians because even Black Panther gets into some weird stuff.
So where does this rank, you think?
This one
Number
towards the
one?
top. No, not. I'm not sure. Damn, you put me on the spot.
Number 1 with the bullet? Number 2 with a knife?
This one I think I still like better than Black Panther.
Oh,
And
okay.
Black Panther was good. And,
Yeah, it was
Black
really
Panther
good.
was really good.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. I think these two kind of fight. And I mean, I have Iron Man up there, up at the top, and
Yeah.
the Avengers obviously because the
OG.
Avengers, set the standard for years to come.
By the
But-
end of this, you guys will probably have to rank them all.
Well, yeah. Well, and that's awesome
That'd
because I
probably
mean,
be easy,
obviously,
though. Like-
Infinity War is going to be like the next Star Wars, where everyone's going to like line up to get their tickets, months in advance.
I got a
you know?
guy in a tent right now
Yeah, exactly. Black
outside of
Friday.
dollar movies because
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay full price.
Oh man.
I'm going to wait for Infinity Wars to go to the dollar movies.
Yeah. So I mean, the anticipation for this next movie is like crazy, and to me, Infinity War would be so much weirder without Guardians.
Guardians, yeah.
You know,
And in some
having
way,
to
Thor-
explain all this.
Thor: The
this,
Dark
you
World
know.
a little bit,
Yeah.
tiny bit.
Yeah. Thor: The Dark World was actually a little bit better than I thought. But remember, we shat on it like the entire time.
Oh yeah,
going through all of these
literally.
podcasts. But
we pooped on some DVDs.
But yeah, I mean, compared to Guardians, it's nothing.
Yeah, Guardians is great.
Yeah, for
Good
sure.
times. David?
Yeah, I would probably like just echo a lot of things you said. Like, it's one of my favorite. It's probably my favorite film.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
For sure.
a lot of the other movies, and
You don't have to.
And
now.
yeah, because to me, they don't get better than this one.
yeah,
so,
I would just feel
you know,
like like literally, like this movie was just so fun. This movie's just so like, and at the time that it needed to come out, it was just so perfect. And then it harkened back to like the trauma. It harkened back to all those other
80s adventures
things.
movie, basically.
Yeah.
Almost like, yeah.
And it was just like, like all those 80s adventures films. It really just made me feel super happy when I was watching this movie. I'll just say that. That's basically all that's good about this movie to me. It just makes me feel happy.
well, and to me, it was like a really, really big win for like the indie filmmaker or whatever. Because I mean, people were like, "Oh, we need this accredited writer to go in and write this movie," or no, we don't want that guy to direct this movie. Like, don't do that. But here's this almost nobody almost. Obviously, he had worked on movies before that, and he does.
Slither.
Yeah, sure, and
Well, I
it
get it, because
turned it-
now that's kind of failing because
Yeah,
now DC
right.
or something like they'll bring in or sometimes they'll bring in the studio sees a independent filmmaker that's making a good movie and they sign him to like their next big franchise,
Right.
And sometimes it sucks.
yeah, sure,
And so, but like this is one of the. I guess what you're saying is like this is one of those things where it turned out really well.
really, really well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so I feel the same way. I feel like all of the what David said earlier is that all the Marvel movies kind of feel the same, and I've been saying that through this podcast. Like, kind of after a while, they kind of get even like down to the cinematography, you get almost like identical to each other.
Yeah.
This is one of the few of the bunch. This and obviously like Thor Ragnarok and Black Panther,
Literal
which are-
standouts.
yeah, they're literal. Like these have a style on its own, which most of the movies don't have a style. And this movie has a crazy style, like a crazy. The cinematography is even like kind of weird and wild. Each time I watch this movie, it's just really odd. Like the thing that gets me is that what I'm trying to say specifically is like any other movie would be kind of jarring, like
Yeah.
seeing a shot edited that way. But the scene where Rocket is on Groot.
Yeah,
and
shooting
the camera like turns around him first, like it's a 360, and then it cuts to something like a POV,
Yeah.
and then it cuts back. You're just like, man, you've never really seen that before.
Yeah, and there's nothing there too. It's like a digital
exactly,
shot.
Yeah, and so like the fact that someone shot that just going around a dude with like a helmet, like a Groot helmet,
Right.
like over like just in a blue suit, it's insane to me. So like this movie's really great for that, for just having an identity on its own. And you can watch this without watching most of these other Marvel movies, even like at this point, because at this point you're getting into phase 2, which is like the halfway point before we get to the end of phase 3. You can't really watch like Winter Soldier or The Dark World without watching, or Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Without watching all the other ones.
Yeah, and so like this one, you can just kind of pop in, and then anybody can really like it. So
Yeah.
that's why this movie kind of rocks. So.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you guys. I think it is probably my A1 number one
Yeah.
sauce
Yeah.
Marvel movie. I think because when the comedy is in force, when the acting is really good, when the whole movie from the soundtrack to the colors to the lines, when everything makes sense.
Just the dance off is kind of
Yeah,
weird.
and then you see like a really great like a stamp of approval from James Gunn, the guy who makes it. It's a good sign. And I think what's really great is Marvel actually let him do what he wanted to, partially probably because there were no known big superheroes in this movie, so they figure we're not going to sell dolls, just make a movie. I saw that he submitted a script to Joss Whedon to read, and Joss Whedon said, "This isn't a James Gunn movie. You made like a Marvel movie.
Yeah, redo
Here,
it.
make it a James Gunn thing." And I think that's really great. It's really exciting to see. But yeah,
it couldn't have happened to a better group of people that genuinely again respect the filmmaking process, and
Yeah.
they give so much. Like James Gunn's like, when we're shooting a movie, like it's almost no rest. Like you get 1,000 questions, and there's so many people who are like, oh, go ask my AD or whatever, or go ask the
Yeah.
second unit, or whatever. When James Gunn's so knee deep in every single process that goes about making a movie that he does, and it really reflects.
And it goes
on
back to the
movies.
times he probably slept on the floor on the set of
of a trauma.
movie or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, exactly. Where like
Everyone's sharing a sandwich and
Oh, yeah.
yanking each other off for
Yeah.
warmth.
yeah.
I paint a good picture
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
what filmmaking is for
For trauma.
yankers.
Ugh.
But yeah, let's talk about the after credit
Here
scene.
we
But
go.
before that, some really breaking news of this movie. Right, Groot actually dies
Yeah.
in this film. Yeah. Groot. So at the end of this movie, Groot hovers around everyone, protects them, and then we see a little baby Groot. And I, like probably a lot of people, thought, well, this is, oh, cool. Groot's growing back, but it was just confirmed recently that
It's the son of
not,
Groot.
yeah,
Groot's
it's-
son. Groot
and it
actually
makes sense.
dies.
Son of Groot.
And it makes sense too, because obviously the Groot we know went through experiences, went through
No matter what, yeah, it was
went
not gonna be
through-
the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, not he's got certain knowledge based on his certain experiences that he's been through. So a fresh baby, that doesn't know how to talk or doesn't know how to, know left from right, is obviously going to be a different entity,
Baby Groot.
right? But
The cutest thing to hit
Yeah.
Disney in a while.
yeah, for sure. And now, I mean, we got you all saw the even smaller Groot, the smaller Groot in Guardians 2, probably. And, now we got Teenage Groot in Infinity War.
Yeah,
So,
I can't. That Groot dancing in that Drax scene.
Yeah.
I've
At
seen
the very
a
end.
million times. It's a GIF. It's toys, and it's such a small, tiny
yeah,
part of the whole movie. But it brings a lot of joy to people.
for sure. And
Um,
that was actually James Gunn dancing as well.
What?
Mocap,
That was- yeah, that's his, mocap.
Those are his,
Cool.
his sweet dance moves, patented.
He may have gotten locked in the restroom.
But, yeah.
I hope not, because we need him to close out this podcast.
Yeah, we'll talk about the after credit scene. So what happened in the after credit scene? What did you like? Obviously, Howard the Duck is in it.
Yeah, that's interesting, and yeah, played by Seth Green too is very, very cool. Another one of James Gunn's friends,
Yeah.
but I think it was, and it just shows that James Gunn respects the material. Where he's like, hey, we started with this,
Yeah.
and there's no better place to put him. Obviously, he's a freaking duck,
Yeah.
So you can't put him in a Captain America movie and be like, oh, sweet.
What's the other after credit scene? There's,
The other
there's
after-
another one.
It's
Isn't
the
it?
dancing, right? The dancing Groot.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess that is it.
Yeah, and I think that's really, because I mean there was, and that's one of the things too. It's like, oh, the after credit scenes are so used to being
Some sort of shield.
tie-in. Yeah, exactly. Like we need to tie it into the main thing or something. So just to see them actually have fun with it and still kind of put Easter eggs in there to make
Yeah.
all the Marvel fans
Well, this
happy.
really reinvigorated, I think, the Marvel franchise, because right before this, we talked about Iron Man 3 and Thor: The Dark World,
Right,
which
and
were
Winter
insane
Soldier and all that.
hangovers.
Yeah.
really dark, moody movies.
Yeah.
and Winter Soldier. Yeah, there wasn't really a happy Marvel
Nope.
movie.
Not really, no. Not
In a while.
Not in phase 2, at least,
It's all sad.
Yeah, for sure. And that was so cool about James Gunn going into it, that
Yeah.
saying like it needs to have a change,
Yeah.
and it needs to kind of be able to stand on its own. And
Yeah.
I think that's where most of it, where it shines for sure.
A really big breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
especially
fresh
for
ass.
Marvel. Yeah. How insane is it that they chose the Guardians of the Galaxy? Because I'm sure there are other franchise or comic books that they could have.
Yeah. When this isn't even the
Chosen.
original team of the Guardians,
That's true. Yeah,
So-
you get the original team kind of in the second one.
Right.
We'll talk about whenever we
led
get
by
there.
Yondu, which is
Yeah.
played by Michael Rooker, and I mean there are things that like obviously they changed from the comic books, but it still is able to work, because James Gunn really pays attention to the detail of how they're gonna change it,
Very colorful, very very fun movie. Cool.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
let's talk about plugs. Let's plug our Dougs.
Plug the Dougs.
John, are you gonna plug?
are you gonna plug everything
Everything
that David is
that you
gonna
do.
plug?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm just gonna
Maybe,
plug in everything.
yeah, we might just. I don't know.
Oh, here's that thing I dropped.
Nice.
So let's go to plugs, guys. What are the things that you guys want to plug? We'll start with our guest of honor, Andrew. I'm kidding. No, David. What do you got to plug? I mean, we already heard a couple of them.
I'm gonna plug Sticker Fridge podcast and Sticker Fridge Studios. Go to stickerfridge.com. You can find all of our Stickerfridge podcasts there. Fam Films, I'm on there. I was the co-host for the first season. Mm-hmm. Was not around for the second season. So if you do not like me, listen to the second season.
I was actually, I think...
What happened to your contract? Do you have a good agent? Why? That should never happen.
I was not around. Yeah, but beyond that, just like, Delphin Pod. Fuck yeah. Like,
yeah, all right.
Everyone, listen to our podcast.
Now a subsidiary of Monsanto.
We were acquired during this podcast.
We got acquired by an agricultural company.
One of Monsanto's podcasts drifted into our podcast, and now
play-
we're a Monsanto podcast.
If we play our podcast in front of a bean, it grows bigger. For some reason, it's weird.
Remember, about those beans. Flick it twice, you're still playing.
Don't flick your beans twice. That's playing with it.
yeah, exactly.
John?
Everything that David just plugged, basically. Listen to all the Sticker Fridge podcasts on the Sticker Fridge Network. Fan Films, Movie Club.
Director Showdown.
Blank is the Killer. The Sticker Fridge Sports podcast.
Boom.
Let us know how that is.
And look up Sticker Fridge on YouTube also.
On the YouTubes.
Awesome. Listen to all the Delphin Pod ones. Obviously, ROTS.
Oh, thanks, John. Afterthought.
ROTS.
THOT thought.
Revenge of the Sequel is on, obviously, a hiatus because we're doing this and we're very busy.
But we're also planning.
We'll be back. Season 4. We'll be back pretty soon.
We got some pretty
John,
awesome
not everything's
stuff.
negative. It's positive. This time apart will make them want us more.
I didn't think I was going into negative yet.
Okay.
John, we're still watching movies.
It's not like we stopped watching movies.
What is the first movie
There's still like a really great episode of RTS that's
The Matrix Reloaded?
Matrix
Yeah.
Reloaded.
Boom.
It's
Lost
never
episode.
been
So, yeah,
lost
We have a
episode.
vault, just like
for some reason.
Just like Disney has a vault for the Song of the South, we have a vault with the Matrix in it
Which is really funny because, I think...
for the same reason.
Speed 2 is in there.
The funny thing is, David's never been on the podcast before officially, but he has been a part of the ROTS.
The lost
around.
episode.
Yeah.
Boom.
Your lips have touched these mics.
Yeah.
Plugs?
Yeah, it's your turn to plug.
My
Andrew.
turn? My plugs. So I feel like I sound like a recording every time we do this. But if you like the Guardians of the Galaxy and want to know more, please swing by the shop. We can hook you up with some. Here's some fantasies.
There's 2 locations.
Yeah, one on Pat Booker Road and the other one on Northwest Loop 410,
You mentioned
4923.
Countdown to Infinity. Isn't it 99% off?
Don't say that.
Oh.
Bleep it out.
I'm going to bleep that out.
No, I'm just
Second
kidding.
edit.
No, I'm just kidding. You can leave that one. But no, it's not true. I will straight turn you away.
How about I get them to go and they just have to talk to a manager? And no, sorry.
Yeah. You can ask, but no, it's not going to work.
When is it 25-cent day where they get a bag and they fill it up with whatever they want? Am I
Jeez.
thinking of the wrong place?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's the flea market.
That's Albertsons.
That's Albert. I saw a robbery at Ross, which sounds like a play, but I did this
Robbery
last
at
week.
Ross.
I was at Ross checking out, and I saw all these dudes just run out, and they had stuff in their hand. And it was a big thing, and I was really pissed because it inconvenienced me.
Boom. We're also
I can't shop
a
yet
big
now.
sponsor
You just
of
turned around.
So
Ross.
guess what I
Done.
did? I ran too. I'm just kidding. It's like, these guys know what they're doing. Well, yeah, my only plug, definitely listen to The Sitting Room and this podcast, Revenge of the Sequel. It's going to be revamped to be an all-inclusive sequel news conglomerate.
What are we doing? Lethal Weapon 3? Or
I don't know.
We can do Cloverfield Paradox.
Cloverfield
We
Paradox, I
can
guess.
do Kingsman.
Yeah, we could do anything.
The world is our oyster.
But we
There's a
haven't
lot of things that
done
are
anything.
sequels.
Yeah.
My bad shit.
We could do any sequel, literally,
nail it down
ever.
right now.
No, yeah, so the podcast is going to be coming out, but also RevengeOfSequel.com will be up and running. You'll get your sequel news and on the Apple News app.
Yep.
That's right. We're going into the fake news business, courtesy of the 2009 Kia Soul and Russia.
Boom. Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, I love
rate
you guys
it,
so
I
much.
think.
God, I love you so much.
Yeah, so you can enter to win all this free swag.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, David.
Bye-bye
Thanks
now,
for being
little
here,
baby.
man.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, David.
Yeah,
Thank
everybody-
you. Thank you, guys.
round
You're
of
awesome.
applause.
Yeah.
Wow. Shut.
That you're in love with me.